Sports presents college football. It's the second weekend in October, and all eyes are on Texas to witness a true football classic. When the Longhorns meet the Oklahoma Sooners, the game takes on a spiritual dimension, evoking some of the greatest moments in college football history. Records become meaningless. Only emotions matter in a rivalry that continues to thrive generation after generation. For the Sooners, the trip to Dallas is a pilgrimage, and the Cotton Bowl is home to some of their greatest legends. Barry Switzer returns and would like to showcase stars like Jamel Holloway and an Oklahoma defense that usually ranks among the best in the country. It's one of the great spectacles of the year, Texas versus Oklahoma, here on CBS. CBS Sports welcomes you to its continuing coverage of college football 1988. Against the backdrop of the annual State Fair of Texas, 75,000 are settling into the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, where the Sooners and the Longhorns are preparing to meet for the 83rd time. It's one of the bitterest rivalries in all of collegiate sport. It's Texas against Oklahoma, next on CBS. Unexpected rains moved into the Dallas area about 2 hours ago, and that, at least for the moment, has held down the crowd. Every seat is not filled, though every ticket has been sold for the 43rd consecutive year. Last time this game was not sold out was 1945. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist. My family moved to this part of the country 36 years ago, so I have been immersed in the passion that permeates this game for 3/4 of my life. And passion is the right word. These two traditional powers meet in this neutral site early in October each year, and when they do, emotions are exposed. Individual pride, school pride, state pride, all of those things are involved. This is a true battle for prestige and recruiting advantage, and both of those elements are regarded with equal contest in this part of the country. I'm working again today with Pat Hayden, and Pat, Texas is a heavy underdog today. Their seniors have never defeated Oklahoma. Do they have any kind of a chance this afternoon?
Well, Vern, from a talent as it's been in the last 3 or 4 years, and the Longhorns have the most talented player today. That is Eric Metcalf, their tailback. Here's a guy who can go 70 yards right now, either with a run or a pass reception. But, Vern, I don't think he can do it by himself today. He is going to need some help from the quarterback, Shannon Kelly. I think he is the key. If he can complete some passes today, particularly early in the game, Texas has a legitimate chance of beating Oklahoma.
Oklahoma comes in having won the last 3 in this battle. They are 3-1 for the year. They're ranked 10th in the country, but they were knocked off, and rather convincingly, by your alma mater, Southern Cal. Now, are there any residual effects from that loss?
Well, I think what they learned from that game is this Oklahoma team is not going to be the dominating type of team it's been the last 4 years. It can be a very good one, but if you're not dominating, you can't make the kind of mistakes and turn the ball over like they did against Southern Cal. But they still have 2 very good players at quarterback. Jamel Holloway will get the start, of course. He has played the wishbone the last 4 years better than anybody has ever played it. Recovering from knee injury, the coaches think he's lost a step, and that's why you'll see some of Charles Thompson today, a guy with great speed and big play written all over him.
We have been joined again today by John Dockery. He'll be along shortly. In the meantime, we've got other mascots and assorted things going on here at the Cotton Bowl. We're also going back to our New York studios for this report from Jim Nance.
All right, thank you very much, Vern. Could this be a day of upsets? There's one brewing right now in the top 10. It involves number 8 South Carolina. The Gamecocks 5-0 on the season, but playing on the road for the first time. Todd Ellis has thrown 2 interceptions, and they're trailing Virginia Tech 21-10 at halftime. 11th ranked Clemson scoreless in the 3rd quarter against Virginia. 12th ranked Alabama. It was a scoreless game against Mississippi at the half. However, the Tide was good and ready to get things on the board to begin the third. On the second half kickoff, Pierre Good, untouched, 100 yards for the score. This game now just 6 minutes into the third quarter. The Tide has added a safety and a field goal. And it's now Alabama 12-0 over Mississippi in the third quarter. 13th ranked Oklahoma State going against Colorado in the first. The Buffaloes scored early in this game. Out of the wishbone, Salinesi off right tackle takes it across for the touchdown. 7-0. However, Oklahoma State is driving. They're on the 1-yard line of Colorado and have just scored a touchdown as we speak to make it 7-6 with the extra point to come. And in the National League Championship Series, Dodgers and Mets now tied 3-all in the top of the seventh. It's our pleasure to have back with us for the third straight year, I might add, head coach of the defending national champions, #1 ranked University of Miami Hurricanes, Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy, thanks for coming up again this week.
Good to be here.
What about the game today, Oklahoma and Texas? If there's one guy who knows how to beat the Sooners, it's you. You've done it 3 times in the last 3 years.
Well, Jim, I talked to Barry Switzer after the Southern Cal loss, and Barry said not only does he have an inexperienced football team, but he's got some players that have been banged up. He had some injuries. On top of that, today, I think he's probably got a better football team than Texas. But Texas has got a chance with Eric Metcalf and a solid run defense.
All right, Jimmy. Of course, we'll be back here at halftime. All the scores and highlights. Talk more to Coach Johnson. But right now, it's time for the Longhorns, and the Sooners will rejoin Vern and Pat at the Cotton Bowl after this message and a word from your local station.
Rest assured, because new improved Kodak Ultralife batteries last twice as long as any other battery.
83rd time Oklahoma has met Texas. It's happened since '29 in Dallas in the Cotton Bowl, and the teams have gotten together in the tunnel, and that's where John Dockery is right now. John?
Thank you, Vern. I feel as though I'm in the neutral zone. Texas has just come out, and they've gone into the tunnel. And you see Oklahoma across the way, a mere 10 yards apart these two teams are. They are filing down into the tunnel. And it's hard to describe the atmosphere, the tension, but Eric Metcalf talked about this game as though we were going to war or into a heavyweight championship fight. Another player told me about amnesia, forgetting who he was and where he was. But to a man, they talk about the darkness in the tunnel, followed by an explosion of light and sound as they come out. Sounds like something out of Dante's Inferno. Whatever the images or the feelings, Vern, they are intense, and they are in the eyes of the players and the coaches.
David McWilliams and the Texas Longhorns. This game in 1984. They've lost 3 in a row. This is the 23rd time as an assistant coach or head coach that Barry Switzer has led his team down the tunnel and into the Cotton Bowl. Texas and Oklahoma. The kickoff is next.
CBS Sports presents college football. Live from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas, it's the Texas Longhorns versus the Oklahoma Sooners. Today's CFA game is sponsored by Toyota. There's quality. Who could ask for anything more? Today's Howard Johnson. We're changing a lot of minds. And by Coors Light. There's no slowing down with a silver bullet. It's the right beer now.
palms used to sweat when I had to get on the highway. Now with my Camry V6, I just punch. Yeah! Punch it, Margaret!
My Toyota, I love it.
The 1989 Toyota Camry V6. 24 valves, 153 horsepower to please even the toughest customers.
We just fell in love with life in the fast lane. My Toyota, who could ask for anything more?
This is your executive section.
Executive section?
This is your welcoming gift.
Welcoming gift?
This is your newly decorated room.
This is Howard Johnson?
Uh-huh.
Howard Johnson.
Buy 15 rolls of any Owens Corning pink insulation now and get your favorite NFL team jacket free.
Daddy, I want my teddy bear.
I want my soda.
Grandma, isn't this fun?
Oh. I want my Serta.
Here's why people want their Serta. Why they're spoiled for any other mattress. Only Serta goes beyond just being firm. Beyond what others do. We top our support with the extra comfortable Serta surface. A unique difference you can feel in a Serta Perfect Sleeper.
I want my Serta.
Xerox presents the Great American Torture Test, Alaska.
Xerox.
Death Valley.
Xerox.
City traffic.
Xerox.
Coast to coast to prove under the most extreme conditions you can't buy a better antifreeze coolant than Xerox. No matter where you drive.
This wet stuff was not expected. They said cloudy, but the rain came in about 11:30 this morning at 64 degrees, humidity 65%. We will have intermittent rain showers throughout and winds out of the northeast at 10 miles per hour as the front blows through. The University of Texas won the toss. They elected to defer the option until the second half, so Oklahoma will receive and go from left to right, north to south. This is Wayne Clements who will kick off.
And we'll get a chance to see Oklahoma's wishbone. It's a different type of wishbone this year in that they're not getting as many big plays out of the wishbone as they have in year past. It's a young team that seems to be more concerned about not making mistakes. And when you're thinking like that, sometimes you don't let your athletic ability cut loose, and that's why they haven't had the big plays.
There's a man on the spot, Shannon Kelly, the senior quarterback for the University of Texas. Pat, you think a lot rides on his performance today?
He is the key to today's game. If he can complete some passes early in the game, Texas has a chance to win.
Clements will kick. Anthony Stafford and Mike Gaddis are the two speedsters who are deep for Oklahoma. OU 3-1, Texas 3-1. Texas blown out by Brigham Young in the season opener. They then defeated New Mexico, University of North Texas, and Rice. Short kick. And a fair catch called at the 15-yard line. Let's meet the offense for the Sooners of Oklahoma at quarterback, Jamel Holloway. Leon Perry opens at fullback. Anthony Stafford and Damon Stell are the halfbacks in the wishbone. And the wide receiver, Eric Bross, a former walk-on. At tight end, getting only his second start, Adrian Cooper. He was a defensive end until 2 weeks ago. Mike Wise at center. Larry Medice and the All-American Anthony Phillips at guard. Taryn Manning and Mark Van Kiersbilt are the tackles. From the 16, first and 10. Two wide receivers on first down. And an audible from Jamel Holloway. Option number one, Leon Perry, the fullback, out to the 21-yard line. Defensively for the Longhorns of Texas, Rocky Allen and Ken Hackamack are the starting tackles. Bobby Duncombe and Oscar Giles are the ends. Britt Hager, the middle linebacker. A key Texas for Texas defensively, Lee Brockman and Dwayne Duncombe. And Texas has been bothered in the secondary by passing. Willie Mack Garza, true freshman, starts along with Mark Perry. Stanley Richard and Paul Bierman are the other two. Second down and 5. Holloway dragged down and stopped. Dwayne Duncombe, number 48, got him. Third down.
One way to stop the wishbone is to make the quarterback make very quick decisions. Dwayne Duncan got right in the face of Holloway, number 48, and makes him make a very quick decision. He turned his back so he didn't see him as quickly as he would have liked, but made Holloway commit himself and then did a nice job of just hanging on.
Dwayne Duncan, one of two brothers starting defensively for the Texas Longhorns. His brother Bobby, also a starter. And it'll be 3rd and long. Sooners converting third downs at only a 39% rate. We say only, that's down from last year. 3rd and 6. Holloway will not, out of the tackle. But hit and knocked down from behind. Sooners punt. First it was Dwayne Duncan. This time it's Bobby Duncan. There's the brother combo.
And that's an important defensive series for Texas because they really haven't been tested. No one has tried to run the ball on them. Everybody's thrown the passes against them this year, but that's the first running series that anybody's really tried, and they stuffed them.
Todd Thompson on to punt. Tony Jones, Eric Metcalf are deep for the Longhorns. Good punt. That's better than good. That's excellent. Eric Metcalf, nothing doing. And he's within a couple of yards of surpassing Earl Campbell in total all-purpose yards for Texas. 43-yard punt. Here's Shannon Kelly, the quarterback. Running backs are Darren Harris getting Norris his 40th straight start. Eric Metcalf, Tony Jones, and Johnny Walker, the wide receivers. Stephen Clark is the tight end. Alan Champagne, 3-year starter at center, anchors the offensive line, which also has Dwayne Miller, Omar Saleh at guards. Charles Cephas and Stan Thomas are the tacklers. First down and 10, Texas from the 39-yard line. Kelly fakes the draw play, lobs it out to Darren Norris. He's got a blocker in front and slips in front of Jorick Battle and is down at the 41 after a short pickup. Defensively for Oklahoma, let's check them out. Tony Woods at the nose tackle spot. Tom Backus and Scott Evans, who had a terrific game a week ago against Iowa State. Wayne Dixon gets his second start at defensive end, and James Good the other end. Frank Blevins and Kurt Casper are the linebackers. Jerry Parks and Scott Garl the corners. Ken McMitchell and Kevin Thompson are the safeties. Second down and 8. And Kelly will pull again. Deep left side, caught, first down. Harry Cash, number 19. His 5th catch of the year and a huge game for Texas.
And what Texas did that time was load up 3 wide receivers to the left side. The 2 wide receivers, then Metcalf came in motion. Kerry Cash, number 19, came a little bit deep, and underneath him was Eric Metcalf. He attracted all the attention, and that's why Cash was open. But this is just the kind of start that Texas wanted. A couple of completions. They're spreading them out with 3 wide receivers to a side and then dumping the ball downfield.
That's a gain of 19. First down at the 40. No score. Opening moments of the ball game. And the rain has subsided for the moment. Play fake. Screen pass to Metcalf. Has a little bit of a block. Fumble. And Oklahoma has it. That is the first turnover for Texas in the last 3 games.
And it was Kevin Thompson who made the recovery. It was a very nice call and set up pretty well. They had thrown the ball downfield. This is a little screen back down here to Metcalf. Goes through some traffic and the ball came loose. It's a wet field and it's going to be a wet ball. And that's what the Sooner defense has done, is create turnovers this year.
There is also a flag down on sportsmanlike conduct against Oklahoma.
One thing, though, Metcalf was carrying the ball on the inside. Ordinarily, when you're running to the outside, you should have the ball on the outside hand to prevent a fumble like that.
Split crew today from the Big 8 in the Southwest Conference. The referee is Sam Mathis.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Oklahoma. First down.
So the ball will be marked back inside the 20 near the 18-yard line. That was post-possession after the turnover. And Texas had gone back-to-back games against the University of North Texas and Rice without a turnover. Interesting, Barry Switzer was reminding us one of the points in his team's convincing wins the last 2 years, that in those 2 games, Oklahoma has only turned it over once against Texas. And they are turnover prone. Two wide receivers split left, and they operate out of the I. Leon Perry up the middle. And Perry surges to the 24, maybe the 25. Bobby Duncombe makes the tackle. Here's Oklahoma's turnover story.
You see the points off the takeaways. The key one there was loss against Southern Cal, of course, and that's it's also kind of depends upon where you turn the ball over. Against Southern Cal, they turned it over deep in their own territory. USC, I think, scored 13 points, and they only had a drive about 10 yards.
By the way, that was a post-possession foul, and it was 1st and 25. We didn't point that out, so it's now 2nd down and 18. Eric Ross winds up wide to the right. Oklahoma said they would try to pass the ball today. There's Holloway in trouble, and Brett Hager has it. For a long time, Brett Hager had it.
Yeah, I'm surprised that's not a penalty against Brett Hager. I mean, he clearly had stopped Holloway's momentum and kept driving him, finally took him down. Watch how long. Hager's right in the middle of the screen. The middle linebacker, number 60, fights off the block of the center, Mike Wise, quite well. That's Duncombe, who's off to a good start. Then Hager's got him right there and drives him back about 15 yards.
Officially a loss of 2. It'll be 3rd and 20. And again, 3 wide receivers in for Oklahoma. 3rd and 19 officially. Up the middle. That's hardly testing the defensive secondary, is it?
Well, Oklahoma is not a 3rd and 19 type of team. They need to be in 3rd and 2 and 3rd and 3, believe me.
So Texas, the #1 rushing defensive team in the country. They have averaged giving up only 37 yards per game, but that's an amusing statistic because they've been so porous in the pass defense. They do hold again, and now Thompson is on to punt, this time to Willie Mack Garza, who's deep, with Eric Metcalf. Nice high punt. And Metcalf with a fair catch. Again, the Longhorns take over outside their own 35. As the man who hopes for a big day makes the fair catch of a 35-yard punt. No score, 9:35 to go, first quarter.
Oh, give me land, lots of land under sunny skies above. Don't fence me in.
Now UPS delivers to every country in Western Europe, the Pacific Rim, Down Under, and Canada. And because we're so efficient, we can deliver your international parcels and documents for fewer francs, yen, or drachmas than other companies charge.
Don't fence me in.
UPS, we run the tightest ship in the shipping business.
This is your territory. First Interstate Bank territory, where First Interstate has offices in more cities and states than any other bank system. So you can move anywhere across the territory and have your bank account waiting. From Hawaii to Wyoming, Arizona to Washington. So open an account at First Interstate and you'll get a warm welcome all across our territory. First Interstate Bank, we go the extra mile for you.
Oktoberfest can be very boring, you know. Pa.
Now, it's Coors Light Rocktoberfest. 31 days of rock and roll, parties, and Coors Light, the silver bullet, the beer that won't slow you down. Plus, there's posters of me and the guys at your store. October will never be boring again. Pa.
Skins, Cowboys, and a force named Herschel. An NFC East collision tomorrow on CBS Sports.
Bebo looks on as Shannon Kelly, the quarterback, begins the second possession. Kelly, a senior, his first year as a starter. He's never beaten Oklahoma.
Well, that's the one thing I do regret is coming in this game and not have beaten Oklahoma. My freshman year, we tied them, and that's as close as we've come. I don't want to live the rest of my life knowing that we never beat OU.
Well, he's got 3 hours to make that decision. 3 wide receivers set for the Longhorns. Metcalf lines up as a deep back in the I. No tight end. They give to Darren Norris, the fullback, and he gets a couple out near the 40-yard line.
Vern, you know, Shannon Kelly is a guy you really have to admire. It has not been easy for him here at Texas. He was highly recruited out of Houston. He dreamed of having a marvelous career as quarterback, but it's taken him 5 years to finally become the starting quarterback. And, you know, it would have been easy to quit or transfer. He didn't do that. He hung in there, and now he gets his moment in the sun.
Matter of fact, in Freddie Akers' final year in '86, he transferred Shannon Kelly to a wide receiver spot. McWilliams moved him back to quarterback when he came in. Here's Kelly. Flag is down. Kelly, nice catch if the play holds up. That's Johnny Walker at the OU 49. But there is a flag.
And Johnny Walker and Tony Jones are going to have to get incorporated today as we see what we expected, the holding call against the Longhorns. But it's important for Johnny Walker and Tony Jones, the outside receivers for Texas, to get involved today, Vern, and take some of the pressure off Metcalf, because he can't win it himself.
Only on the offense. Still second down.
That will move the ball back to the 30-yard line. Second down and 18. David McWilliams was the co-captain of a 1963 Texas team that defeated Oklahoma 28-7 on this field. That was one of the heralded games in this rivalry. As OU came into that game #1, Texas #2. Texas won big and went on to win the national title. Their first under Darrell Royal. Draw play. Darren Norris to the 40-yard line. He got 10 back. Ken McMitchell, number 12, makes the tackle. And while this game progresses, let's see what's happening elsewhere. Here's Jim Nance.
Well, Vern, that battle of unbeatens in the Big 8, Oklahoma State now has the edge as Barry Sanders, the nation's leading rusher and scorer, has scored now both touchdowns for the Cowboys after this 2-yard dive. Oklahoma State's just recovered a fumble deep in Colorado territory, driving again. Back to Vern.
All right, we've got Mark Simmelman in the lineup now. 3rd down and 8. Metcalf in motion. Comes good on the rush. The pass caught short of the first down. He's a foot short or a yard short. Metcalf didn't see the first down marker or did not have time to react to it.
The ball was thrown late, and that happens sometimes when a quarterback rolls out to his left. He can't get, this is Metcalf in motion. He's going to come right here in the flat. The receivers go behind him. But when a quarterback rolls to his left, sometimes he can't get his hips around quick enough to deliver the ball on time. It's a little bit late, although well thrown. And because of the wet field, he couldn't really turn up and pick up the first.
Eric Metcalf has now become the leader in all-purpose yardage in the history of the University of Texas, surpassing the Heisman Trophy winner who is here today, Earl Campbell. Bobby Liljedahl is the punter this time. Watch out. Glenn Milburn, a freshman. There is also a flag back at the line of scrimmage. Milburn, a 5'9", 170-pounder, made the catch. Tackle made by Cal Elliott. That's a 40-yard punt and a 6-yard return, but let's see what the infraction might be.
So while they're discussing this, Vern, we have seen Oklahoma come out and run some I formation, which is a little bit of surprise. They wanted to run some I. They want to throw the ball a little bit more today.
Oklahoma.
So again, the key for Oklahoma has always been first down. How many times over the years have they given the ball to the fullback, get 6 yards, and then when you're in 2nd and 4, you have every available option to you?
Matter of fact, they are averaging this year 6.5 yards on first down. Well, if you're a lip reader, I think he said a post-possession foul. It's against Oklahoma. They do keep the football, and timeout has been called.
Meet your next truck. The truck for '89. The all-new Toyota V6 4x4 SR5. The most advanced V6 engine in its class. All-new on-the-move four-wheel demand. And a brand-new look that says Toyota quality.
It's everything I ever wanted.
Toyota, you could ask for anything more.
We're looking for a few good men with the
medal to be Marines.
Not all Xerox machines copy documents. Some help create them, print them, send them anywhere in the world, even store them electronically. And you thought we only made great copiers. Team Xerox, we document the world.
Leave it to the good hands, people.
Thinking ahead. It's something you started doing the day you learned how to wish and plan and take measures to help your wishes come true, which is just what Allstate Universal Life helps you to do. To plan while protecting your family and save as your family grows at rates that could help make a lot of your wishes a reality. Allstate Universal Life Insurance, another reason.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Rainy afternoon in Dallas, but the rains have subsided for the moment. Vern Lundquist and Pat Hayden, Texas and Oklahoma. Here in the second weekend of October, meeting for the 83rd time. No score in this game, 3-3 the Dodgers and the Mets in the 8th inning. After the foul, the Longhorns put on their defense now, contending an Oklahoma team which starts from its own 7-yard line with a 1st and 10. No score in the game. Mike Gaddis comes in as the right halfback, replacing Damon Stell. They expect big things out of him. He's a redshirt freshman.
He'll be the next great one at Oklahoma. That's Gaddis.
Jamel Holloway wants it quiet.
Well, again, I always think that's the worst thing a quarterback can do is step away right there, because you know the next time you come up, the crowd is even going to give you more grief.
Sam Maphis, I think, is telling Holloway, go ahead and try and run a play. This crowd is evenly divided between red and orange, though you can't tell as much today. There was one heck of a poncho sale outside the fairgrounds. I think the prices doubled about 10:30 this morning. So,
they didn't sell them in red and orange either, did they? The ponchos. No, they're clear.
You had to take what you got. This is the Texas end this year, though.
And that's what's causing the problems for Holloway.
And the cheerleaders are urging the crowd on. That doesn't help any. Holloway will throw. Looks deep for Mike Gaddis, and Gaddis is out there.
And you can say what you want about Jamel Holloway as a passer, but this ball is beautifully thrown. Danny Marino couldn't have thrown this one any better. It's beautifully timed. And a very nice touch over the defender, Richard Stanley, the free safety, right over 2 defenders. Gaddis caught it in full speed and full stride, and that's a terrific throw.
That's a gain of 43, first down at midfield. Mike Gaddis, nice run by the freshman to the 43.
Gaddis will be the next big superstar, I think, at Oklahoma. We saw him catching the ball out of the backfield there. He is only a freshman, but he's got the size and the speed that you look for. He's 6'2", 205 pounds, and can get outside on the wishbone. All the big plays in college football come on the perimeter of the defense, and that's where he's at his best.
Just under 7 minutes to go, first quarter, second down and 2, Oklahoma. Leon Perry, huge hole, first down. Went right over the back of his center, Mike Wise. And the block of Anthony Phillips on the right side.
Vern, there are really 3 games going on within this game. The 2 tackles and the middle linebacker have to stop the fullback today. And watch the guard, the left guard right here, that's Medis, number 62, make the block. But if the 2 guards of Oklahoma can control those defensive tackles, the fullback is going to have a big day.
First and 10, Oklahoma, 6:35 to go, no score first quarter. Here's Gaddis again. Britt Hager hits him from behind after Stanley Richard, number 18, the man who was burned on the long pass, makes his 3rd tackle in a row.
Talking about those 3 games within the games, we saw the offensive guards against the tackles. Then the other interesting matchup today is a freshman, Willie Mack Garza, who's going to cover the wide receiver from Oklahoma all over the field today. It's like 20 other people aren't even playing. He's all by himself out there on that island.
Steve Llewellyn comes in defensively for Texas, replacing Rocky Allen. And that's the spot they run out, and Leon Perry has another first down. Llewellyn An all-conference player was injured in the first game against BYU. But Anthony Phillips was controlling Rocky Allen on that right guard spot. And so Llewellyn has come in now defensively for Texas.
You mentioned Anthony Phillips. You know, drive blocking is a lost art in college football, but Anthony Phillips is the best in college football, I think, at that. If he can block Hackamack right there, number 68, and Rocky Allen the other side, they have a chance of really having some big plays from the fullback.
First and 10, Oklahoma. Perry gets the ball slipped from Holloway. And it's down to the 21-yard line. Tackle made by Ken Hackamack, number 68, and Steve Llewellyn. Llewellyn wears number 93. That's Hackamack right there.
This is Ken Hackamack's type of game, Llewellyn, number 93. Both those guys, 6'8", 6'9", 280 pounds. A physical kind of game, a one-on-one battle between the defensive tackle and the guard. You don't find that much in college football, but because Texas plays a 4-3, we find that battle today.
Second down, 8. This drive started at the Oklahoma 7. No score in the game. Holloway blocked from Stafford, and Gaddis is tripped up from behind as he gets to the 19-yard line. Mark Berry made the tackle with help from Dwayne Duncombe.
When you play the wishbone, your defensive backs have to be terrific tacklers. That time, Mark Berry made a shoestring stop of the ball carrier, but that's what's going to take. All the defensive backs from Texas need to play well today as tacklers.
Willie Mack Garza, number 17, a true freshman out of Refugio, Texas. And they really like him. He's getting his second consecutive start at a cornerback spot, which has been weak for the Longhorns. The left cornerback spot. 3rd and 6, no score. Stafford. That should be enough to move the chain. Paul Bierman, number 22, with the tackle.
We always think about Oklahoma being a team that is such a finesse team, but that time they just ran a power I formation, handed the ball to Stafford deep, and he just followed the block again of Anthony Phillips and picked up what we think is the first down.
They will bring the chain out as Barry Switzer looks on. No score in the game. This drive at his first down. Started at the 7-yard line, and a 43-yard pass from Holloway to Mike Gaddis got them out to midfield. It's been all on the ground since then.
I think Oklahoma may be the best team in college football inside the 20-yard line, because most teams have to change their offense when they get inside the 20, but not Oklahoma. They're going to run the wishbone and the option plays no matter where they are, so they score more touchdowns inside the 20.
First and 10, 4 minutes to go, first quarter. Perry to the 10-yard line. And Ken Hackamack, all 6'9", 300 pounds, if he makes the tackle again.
And this drive, Vern, has been characteristic of this Oklahoma team this year. You think about all the big plays, and that's what characterized Oklahoma offenses over the year, but not this year. Again, they've been a little bit more methodical on offense with some drives like we're seeing here today.
Second down at the 10, 2nd and 7. 2 wide receivers now. And here's Holloway. Down to the 4-yard line. It'll be just short, it appears, of the first down.
And he is hurt. Jamel Holloway is limping out. Looks like it's his right knee. It was his left knee that he injured and had surgery on. But it looked like he came limping out, hurt the right knee.
Chuck Thompson, Charles Thompson will take his place. Barry Switzer has been rotating them on series throughout the year. See if we can figure out what happened.
Jamel says he's all the way back from knee surgery. His coaches feel like he's lost a step. He follows this fullback's block, Perry, there, and it was his right knee that looked like he just hit the turf. Got a bruise on the right knee.
Charles Thompson, who replaced Holloway when he went out with an injury late last year, and among other things led the team to the win over Nebraska. 3rd and short, and Leon Perry has a first down and goal from the 3-yard line. A flag is down back at the 7-yard line.
Charles Thompson has big play in his blood. Where Jamel Holloway, call against the Longhorns, where Jamel Holloway is a very efficient runner, is a strong runner. Charles Thompson not nearly as strong, but can have very big plays.
There's Holloway in the middle of that huddle. Pat and I were up in Norman on Thursday, and Jamel said then that the injured knee was healthy. He thinks he's just fine. His coaches tend to disagree and say he's lost a step. But he told us he could play without the brace.
I don't think anybody has ever played the wishbone quarterback as well as Jamel Holloway has done over the last 4 years. He's done it every year. Won a championship as a freshman at Oklahoma. He has been sensational as a wishbone quarterback.
That penalty was accepted by Oklahoma rather than a play, so they've now got a 1st and goal from the 2, scoreless first quarter.
And there's some confusion. I think Barry wanted a timeout called.
Didn't need it. Perry, touchdown. Oh, what a hole. That's a 93-yard drive, highlighted by a 43-yard pass play. Jamel Holloway to Mike Gaddis. And from the 50, OU kept it on the ground, as they are inclined to do. And now R.D. Lasher will come in to try the extra point. He's 12 for 12 this year. Younger brother of Tim Lasher, who was a record-setting place kicker for Oklahoma. And a whistle started to sound.
Another split crew today. Sometimes I think when you have split crews, you don't get the kind of coordination you do when you have the crew all from one conference. This game traditionally has always had a split crew. Half of them are from the Big 8, the others from the Southwest Conference.
Well, whatever the problem, it's been ironed out. And Lasser will now try to get out of Thompson's hold. That's an 11-play drive by the Sooners, who appeared backed up inside the 10. High snap, blocked. And there's a new rule in college football this year in which you can return a block for 2 points. They aren't able to do it, but Lee Brockman made the block, and Mark Steed made the recovery. There's Brockman.
Take a look at the block, number 63, Brockman. He is 6'2", but gets up, gets some pretty good penetration inside. And again, when the kick is blocked behind the line of scrimmage, you can pick it up and run for 2. But this is the 6th that counted right here. The blocks by the center, Mike Wise, and Anthony Phillips opened up a huge hole for Leon Perry.
Have you ever tried a beer and felt like the taste just missed your mouth? Well, taste again.
Oklahoma scores first, 143-yard pass and a whole lot of wishbone. How does it work? Pat Hayden's going to explain it to you.
Barry Switzer's wishbone consists of 3 major options. The first option involves the fullback, and the option depends how the defensive end plays. If the end comes upfield to take the quarterback will then hand the ball to the fullback, who runs inside. The second option is the quarterback keep. Again, the quarterback reads the defensive end. If he comes across playing the quarterback, he'll be picked up by the fullback, allowing the quarterback to take the play up inside and pick it up maybe 5-6 yards. But what you really want the wishbone to do is get to the third option. That's the pitch to the halfback. Again, the read is the defensive end. If he penetrates playing the quarterback keep option, the trailing back gets the pitch with the lead halfback providing a key block. And this is where the big plays in the wishbone come, on the perimeter of the defense.
Barry Switzer is the man who talked Chuck Fairbanks into using the wishbone, having watched the University of Texas run it for 2 years. And in a game here in 1970, Chuck Fairbanks' Oklahoma team with Jack Mildren at quarterback came out in a wishbone, surprised everybody. They wound up losing that game 41-9. But within a year, they had become the leading rushing team in the history of college football, averaging in 71, 472 yards with that thing.
That's normally good enough to win.
That'll do it.
That's going to win you most ball games.
Thompson kicks. Short. Real short. Chris Samuels grabs it. It's out to the 29. Let's watch the wishbone, and let's watch the All-American guard, Anthony Phillips.
Watch the block by Anthony Phillips as he crushes the man right down on the inside. He's a guy that can really play on Saturdays. Loves Saturday afternoons because he's going to get blocks like that. That one was on Steve Llewellyn, and that opened up a terrific hole for Leon Perry.
Anthony Phillips' brother John, an all-conference performer last year with the Oklahoma team. He is the leader of that offensive line. Now Shannon Kelly, who's 4 for 4 throwing the ball, has Texas in the eye. And Kelly rolls out, pulls up, and lets it go. Darren Norris bounces off 1 tackle and gets 2 additional yards. Right now, let's go down to John Dockery.
Vern, you might be wondering about Jamel Holloway. Well, he's right here on the sidelines. You see him walking along. What they've done, it's good news for the Oklahoma Sooners. It's only a very, very slight bruise on his right ankle. They've taped him additionally, and he should be back in action. He's not in any kind of pain. It's very, very minor injury to Jamel Holloway. Okay, Vern.
Way to keep dry, John. A lot of guts, no umbrella. 2nd down and 3, Texas. 6-0, Oklahoma. To the fullback. And that's down at the 39-yard line as Darren Norris gets the carry. Kurt Casper with the tackle. Right now, let's go back and check in with Jim Nantz in New York.
Vern, Barry Sanders has scored again, his 3rd of the day, 14th of the season, giving Oklahoma State a 14-point lead in the 2nd quarter. And Clemson scored with 1:50 left to move in front of Virginia. Let's go back to Vernon Peck.
All right, Jim. Barry Sanders had to play a subservient role to Thurman Thomas a year ago, but what a player he is.
You know, Barry Switzer says he is the best running back in America. Really is very, very high on Barry Sanders.
3rd and short for Texas. They trail by 6. Metcalf in the slot, now in motion. And Texas will throw on 3rd and 1. And it's almost intercepted. Ken McMitchell had it right in his paws.
And that's the first incompletion for Kelly. He was trying to get the ball to Walker, but inside number 19, as 3 wide receivers are on that side, he had Cash open over the middle. See 19 over the middle? But he chooses to go outside. McMitchell is there to try to make the play. Really should have made the interception.
How'd you like the call on 3rd and a foot?
I do like the call. This is what it's going to take for Texas to win today, I think.
Okay. Bobby Liljedahl, his 2nd punt. He is replacing Alex Waits today. Waits got off a 5-yarder against Rice last week, and so they've called on Liljedahl, and he responds with a good one. Glenn Milburn inside the 15. Flag is down. It's going to be clipping against Oklahoma, I think. As Bobby Rhodes, number 67, made the tackle. A 48-yard punt and 4 on the return.
Well, 3 times Oklahoma has had a penalty down here with made them backed up down inside their 10-yard line. Of course, they were able to go the long way last time, but your chances are about 1 in 25 of driving the distance from this area of the field and scoring.
We have clipping on the return team during the kick. 1st down.
And again, they're inside the 10. They started the last drive from the 7. Barry Switzer, Crossett, Arkansas. 11 years, he said, he faced Texas as a player or coach at Arkansas. Now 23 years at Oklahoma. He's seen a lot of orange in his life. And he turned 51 last Wednesday.
I don't think Switzer and his staff really get enough credit for coaching. Everybody thinks they just get great athletes and let them run, but they do a very good job of coaching those athletes.
Charles Thompson is the quarterback. Rodney Anderson now the new fullback. And Anderson gets the handoff in a big hole. Boy, he was within 1 ankle tackle of gaining a ton, and Anthony Phillips cleared the way.
Again, Phillips is having a great ball game at right tackle. He's number 68 right there in the left part of the screen. Anytime he can control his man like that, there's going to be a huge hole there because they don't block the defensive end. That's the man they option up. So if Phillips keeps blocking like that, you can believe they're going to keep giving the ball to the fullback.
Anthony Phillips, born in Dallas, raised in Tennessee before he moved to Oklahoma, said he really grew up as an Oklahoma State fan. And then his senior year decided to go to Oklahoma. That was a near fumble. Rodney Anderson had fumble problems at the end of last year when he replaced. Came in and had 8 fumbles, I think, in the last 3 games. Quarter's about over. And it's been a good one. That's the end of the 1st quarter. 6-0 Oklahoma. Will return after this message and a word from your local station. State Fair of Texas underway. The fairgrounds filled with 150,000 to 175,000 who are not in the Cotton Bowl. Thus far in the first quarter, Jamel Holloway out with an ankle injury, might be back. Shannon Kelly hit 5 of 6 for 42 yards for Texas. But the rushing defense of the Longhorns, with a season average yield of only 37, has already given up 73 yards to the Oklahoma Sooners. 6-0, second down and 9 OU. And a power eye set this time. They give it off to the tailback. Anthony Stafford lined up in a power eye set. We've seen more offensive formations from Oklahoma than we normally do.
And you're right. This is one of the things that happened after the USC loss. They felt they had to have a couple of different types of plans. They couldn't come out and run the wishbone every down with this particular team. But they had the one big pass play, you see, there, Oklahoma for 43 yards. So they have mixed it up. We've seen some 3 wide receivers. We've seen some I formation.
3rd and 9, 1 pass completed, that by Holloway to Mike Gaddis. Now to the wishbone, the wide receivers to the left side. And Chuck Thompson comes to the left. He gets on the corner and is out of bounds with a first down at the 31. Stanley Richard, the safety, makes his 7th tackle of the first half, number 18. And when you've got that free safety making that many tackles, of course, in the wishbone, he's almost got to, doesn't he?
The wishbone, the free safety, has got to make a lot of players. His job is to fill the alley, to play the quarterback from inside out. He's got the quarterback to the pitch. When the quarterback keeps it, this is his play right here. And Richard Stanley does a terrific job of getting the ball right where he is. He didn't stop the first down, but Stanley Richard did a terrific job of doing so.
First down and 10 out of the wishbone. That looks like an almost predetermined give that time as Rodney Anderson gets the carry. Rocky Allen with the tackle, and we go down to John Dockery.
You know, Vern, you look over here, that's Jamel Holloway. What they've done, that blue thing you see there is taped on. It's actually an ice pack. He has a very slight sprain. He could play, but I think Barry Switzer is just being safe. He has a good backup quarterback in Thompson. He doesn't want to take any chances, but Holloway could play if he's needed. Now back to you.
Matter of fact, Johnny, he's even more than a backup. He's almost a part-time starter because Thompson has played in about 40% of the offensive plays this year. And here's Thompson to pass for the first time against the porous defensive secondary of Texas, and that time Lee Brockman had to go back on Anthony Stafford. Boy, that's a mismatch.
Yeah, that is the definition of a mismatch. Stafford against Brockman. Stafford runs about 4.3, and believe me, Brockman does not. But again, the ball was underthrown. Had Thompson gotten the ball downfield a little bit further, it would have been an easy score for Stafford. He could have just run right underneath it, but the ball was underthrown.
This is a Texas team which in this century had never given up 400 yards passing in a game until this year, and it's happened twice in 4 games. 402 yards and 419. And how about that play from Rocky Allen? He's been getting hammered all game by Anthony Phillips, but he won that battle and makes the stop, and David McWilliams applauds.
And that's a big defensive play by Rocky Allen and the defense. As you mentioned all day long, Rocky Allen, number 89 right here, has been beaten by this man. But this time he gets through and gets his hands right on Charles Thompson very early, and again disrupts the rhythm of the whole play.
Thompson will punt. Willie Mack Garza and Eric Metcalf are deep. Fair catch called by Metcalf at the 31-yard line. Sun is breaking through the clouds. A 35-yard punt for Thompson. Oklahoma leads by 6.
Number 1, Miami battles 5th-ranked Notre Dame next Saturday.
When you move with Ryder, think of the unpacking as practice. Because only Ryder will enroll you in one of the country's biggest discount shopping services, absolutely free. Which means you can buy almost anything for your new home at some of the best prices around. So after you unpack, you can unwind. Move yourself with Ryder and settle in with the savings. Ryder, we're there at every turn.
I used to put in 5-6 hours of TV a day. Now I can't get near it. My parents always have it. You see, Stanley's giving away these home improvement videotapes when you buy a Stanley tool. So now they're doing a few projects in every room in the house. So what am I supposed to do now?
You can mow the lawn.
Clean your room.
Read a book.
Get a job.
Get a job, yeah.
Get a free home time video. Win a Chevy truck, a $20,000 home improvement, and $1,000 worth of Stanley tools in the Stanley Home Improvement Challenge.
This is your executive section.
Executive section.
This is your welcoming gift.
Welcoming gift?
And this is your newly decorated room.
This is Howard Johnson?
When I'm fighting dandruff, I want all the help I can get. So now I'm using new Extra Strength Denorex with 39% more dandruff medicine. For my dandruff and itch, there's 39% more medicine in new Extra Strength Denorex. For great-looking hair, I can't get too much of a good thing.
NFL tomorrow on CBS, about 15 miles from where we're located at Texas Stadium. Washington takes on Dallas. Most of you in the country will see that one. Others will watch Chicago at Detroit, while still others of you see the Rams travel to Atlanta. Tampa Bay will be in Minnesota tomorrow. And a 4 o'clock start for some of you. You'll watch New Orleans at San Diego. It all starts with the NFL today, tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Time. And as we said, across town will be Crazy Ray on the left and the Chief on the right. They've been going at it like that for at least 15 years.
The Cowboys have to be happy with Steve Pelor's play. He's really coming on.
He played very well Monday night. As a team, Dallas played pretty well. First and 10, Texas. 3 wide receiver set, Metcalf in motion. And Kelly goes deep. His receiver ran out of bounds and then back in. That's intercepted out of bounds.
You know, the incredible thing to me is that Eric Metcalf has only touched the ball twice this game. Those were both on receptions. He has yet to carry the ball as a running back. And they want to spread it around, but he is the guy. He's the guy with more talent than anybody. You got to get the ball to him.
His father, Terry Metcalf, of course, a great player in the NFL with the St. Louis Cardinals for years. Eric grew up in the Seattle area and in Arlington, Virginia. Split backs behind Shannon Kelly, second and 10. Blitz coming to Kwesi, and the pass is caught by Johnny Walker. That's a first down at the 43. Jerry Parks, number 8, redshirt freshman, makes the stop. Kelly looks sharp, Pat.
He is drilling the ball very accurately, but believe it or not, that play was set up by a nice block by Eric Metcalf, who came over all 180 pounds of him, put a nice block on an outside linebacker, and that gave Kelly plenty of time to find Walker.
That's a Longhorn first down with 12.5 to go first half. 6-0 the score. As Shannon Kelly, the senior out of Houston, comes up. First and 10, Texas. Here's Metcalf. Oh, he's got some room. And he's out of bounds at the Oklahoma 49. Jerry Parks with the tackle. Eric Metcalf. What kind of runner is he? Well, he described himself.
I think I'm just a slippery type of person who's running scared. I don't want anyone to get their best shot on me. I'm just trying to get down the field and keep anyone from getting their best shot on me. If I do that, I feel comfortable.
You know, Vernon, I saw Emmett Smith a week ago, and Emmett breaks tackles. Eric Metcalf makes a lot of people miss. Don't get a good shot at him.
And he looks remarkably similar in style to his father. That's Metcalf in motion, second and 2. Draw play to Norris. Cannot get loose and loses yardage as the referee goes down in the middle of it all.
This is the one problem we've seen with the Texas offense today. You saw it in 3rd and short, and that time it was 2nd and 2. They cannot pick up those tough yards, and sometimes it's very difficult to do that when you're a passing team. The inside linebacker right here on the left, nobody really gives him a chance to block, or nobody blocks him, and there's nowhere for Norris to go.
Frank Blevins coming.
And then there should be either a guard or a tackle that slips off and picks him up.
And as a result of a loss, it'll be 3rd down and 10. There's Frank Blevins from Killeen, one of a number of Texans on this Oklahoma roster. That is not unusual. Kelly across the middle. Jorik battle short of the first down at the 50. Texas will have to punt as Greg DeQuazy makes the tackle, number 48. Interesting, Pat. The Sooners have been going with 5 defensive backs most of the first half. They've been in a 4-man line and had the nickel in there.
And that's because the Longhorns have really done very little running. We've only seen 1 run by Eric Metcalf and a couple of draws, so they figure they can win with 5 defensive backs.
Bobby Liljedahl is on to punt again. Again, he's replacing Alex Waits, and Glenn Milburn waits for it back in the 10. In the battle of field position, Texas has had the upper hand thus far. And Milburn is down inside the 10 again. A fumble. Texas ball. That is the 11th fumble lost by Oklahoma this year.
And when Milburn watches it tomorrow, his coaches are going to tell him anytime it comes inside the 10-yard line, do not try to field it and run it out. You know, I thought it looked like he was actually down to me, although the official called it a fumble and Lee made the recovery.
Jerry Seod is the man who made the hit, number 38.
And that's what Barry is thinking. He said the same thing that I think I saw, that he thought he was down. He thought Milburn was down. Take another look. He is down right there, and then the ball comes loose. And I don't think that should have been a fumble. I think he was down.
And it goes without saying, there is no recourse to instant replay in college football. Here's the official.
The ball carrier was down on the ground. No fumble. First down.
That's the right call. A lot of people are going to disagree with that, but that is the right call.
I think that's a great example of cooperation with officiating crews, because obviously one official with a better view overruled the man who made the original fumble call.
And that's an interesting point, because it is a mixed crew, a split crew. Half from the Big 8 and half from the Southwest Conference.
It's obvious that somebody overruled. It had to be Maphis, I guess, the referee, who overruled the man who made the original call. So wipe out the fumble, give Oklahoma the ball at the 8. And an angry David McWilliams walks the sidelines.
Very important series here for the Texas defense. 11 minutes left in the second quarter. Back them up, force them to punt, give your offense a chance to score before halftime.
Power eye set. They give it to the deep back. That is Mike Gaddis, number 33, who's been the offensive standout in the first half.
We talked about the three options the Wishbone has had. Is a fullback run 9 times. That's what they've given most of it. If you don't stop the fullback, you're going to keep using it. That's where most of the yards have come from. The big plays come on the third option, where the halfback gets the pitch.
Second down and 4. Charles Thompson on in relief of an injured Jamel Holloway. Thompson pitch. Oh, what a dandy display. No flags are down. Anthony Stafford will not be caught. 86 yards.
From a Texas standpoint, that's like a 14-point turnaround. They thought they had a fumble in scoring territory. You get it called back, and then Stafford goes 86.
86 on the pitch out from Charles Thompson. And as Thompson goes over to the sideline, time has been called. Oklahoma's going to go for 2.
There's something new out there. For all of you, the truck for 89, the all-new Toyota 4x2 Extra Cab SR5. Now available V6 power, real backseat space, and a new look that can only say one thing: Toyota quality.
Got it all now.
Toyota, who could ask for anything more?
Leave it to the good hands, people.
Yesterday, when George Tucker left the Allstate Claim Center across the street, he figured the only thing that'd bring him back was the pie he'd discovered. Unfortunately, the long, hot drive home exposed other minor damage that had gone undetected. Just the kind of thing Allstate Hidden Damage Protection insures him against. So today, Allstate gave George another check and a great new excuse for more pie. Allstate Hidden Damage Protection. Another reason.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Oktoberfest can be very boring. You know, pa. Now, it's Coors Light Rocktoberfest! 31
21 days of rock and roll, parties and Coors Light, the silver bullets, the beer that won't slow you down. Plus, there's posters of me and the guys at your store. October will never be boring again. Boom, pa, pa.
We just talked about how the big plays in college football come on the perimeter of the defense. This is set up by running the fullback time after time. Thompson does a great job of pitching the ball to Stafford, and he picks up a terrific block by his other halfback, Gaddis, right there, number 32. And this man runs 4-3. You aren't going to catch him. Great coordination. You run the fullback, then you fake the fullback, and you pitch it out to a guy who runs 4-3.
That is the 25th time this season that Texas has given up a play in excess of 20 yards. But it's only the second time all season that they've given up a run longer than 20 yards. And that was for 86, and now Oklahoma will go for 2. They had the extra point blocked after their first touchdown. It's 12-0 right now. Thompson, touch, got it.
Boy, did he pick up a nice block by his tight end, Adrian Cooper. The man that you talked about, Vern, who's only getting his second start, and he just hugged that block. Watch the tight end right here come down and block, and then he's going to hug that block right into the end zone for the 2-point play. Comes in, actually blocks the defensive back, and then he falls in right behind him for 2. That's a good block by Cooper.
That makes it 14-0, and next week, one of the key games of the year, Miami against Notre Dame. Notre Dame led by quarterback Tony Rice, and Steve Walsh has led the Hurricanes to 16 straight victories, but they face a Notre Dame team with revenge on its mind. That's next week, Miami against Notre Dame here on CBS. 86-yard run, Anthony Stafford, after an overruled fumble, gives Oklahoma renewed possession of the ball. So 2 big plays now for Barry Switzer's team, a pass at 43 that was the highlight of a 93-yard drive, and the 86-yard run by Anthony Stafford. Thompson will kick off. 14-0 OU. They came in as 17-point favorites last year at halftime when they were 31-point favorites over Texas. It was only 13-6 at the half. Short. Chris Samuels at the 23. And dragged down at the 26. Right now, let's go back to New York. Here's Jim Nantz.
Well, Vern, here's an upset. 12th-ranked Alabama with its first loss of the year. Mississippi trailing 12-7 in the final minute. Sean Sykes with his second touchdown of the day. Ole Miss added another touchdown after an Alabama turnover. First win ever for the Rebels in the state of Alabama. Back to Vernon Tex.
All right, Jimmy. Well, Alabama flirted with disaster last week, and this week it caught up with them.
Incredible comeback a week ago. I think, Vern, here that Texas has to get on the board before halftime. 10-16 left. If they don't get something on the board, I think it's going to be more and more difficult for them to win this ball game.
They have shown a proclivity for the pass in the first quarter and a half, and with some degree of success. Here's Shannon Kelly. He'll throw it again. Darren Norris. But Norris was looking for much.
He got about 4 yards completely on his own. He was trying to pick up the block of Jorick Battle, number 40, his wide receiver. Didn't do a very good job, but Norris still got 4 yards on his own.
That's the third catch for Darren Norris. Again, Eric Metcalf has carried the ball just once, and that for 8 yards. He has caught a couple of passes.
You have to give your best player a chance to make big plays.
Second down and 7. Johnny Walker comes wide to the right side. So does Kerry Cash, number 19, as they go with a flex end now. No tight end. Metcalf in motion, and Kelly back to throw. Chased by James Good. He'll run it. And that's short of the first down, out of bounds at the 32. Kurt Casper, number 46, made the tackle. Casper and Kelly played against each other in high school. Shannon Kelly from Houston, so is Kurt Casper, number 46. Casper a little bit embarrassed because earlier this week he was widely quoted as saying he hated Texas thought they weren't as good as Kansas and Kansas State, I think was the quote that we read, and then he said, I never said that.
Somehow linebackers at Oklahoma seem to get themselves in some trouble when they talk, don't they? Remember old Brian Bosworth?
I remember him.
You heard of him?
Gasper, we talked to him the other day. He said things aren't going well.
They're bad week.
3rd and 3. Toss. Look for the halfback pass. Metcalf. Nobody's open. He has to run, and he can do that as well as anybody.
He is fun to watch. This play was supposed to be a throwback back to Shannon Kelly, the quarterback, down the left side. But there was nobody open. And the offensive line did a real nice job of holding their blocks. Watch how long the blocks of the offensive line are held. Now, Metcalf is going to try to throw back to Kelly, who's down the left sideline. Nothing there. You see Casper, number 46, just running away from Metcalf, and he is so smooth. He can really glide. And talk about running like his father. That's a perfect example of it right there.
Jerry Parks made the tackle, a 29-yard gain. First down at the 39. Play fake and Kelly back. Settles short. Metcalf hammered at the 36-yard line. Hammered by Frank Blevins, number 35. Mets lead the Dodgers 5-4 in the 8th. Our score 14-0 with 9:08 to go first half. The 83rd meeting between Texas and Oklahoma. Frank Blevins made that tackle. Texas scored, or rather Oklahoma scored on a 93-yard drive. They got a short touchdown run from Leon Perry, and then an 86-yard scamper by Anthony Stafford. It's 14-zip. 2nd and 7. Draw play. That's a first down for the Longhorns. Eric Metcalf tackled by Kevin Thompson this time.
Eric Metcalf can make an offensive line a lot better than they really are because he can cut it anywhere, and you don't have to hold your blocks a long time. This is their base play, the sprint draw. Get it to him deep, let him find a hole. Champagne, the center, made a real nice block. But you see, he doesn't ever take a full hit. Always ducks the head or gives him a hip, gets out of the way. Makes a lot of people miss.
Long jump champion in track and field in the NCAA as a sophomore. Tried out for the Olympic team, finished 8th. A little bit of a muscle pull. That's a first down. Metcalf had aspirations of a Heisman Trophy run this year. Then he was declared ineligible for the one game against Brigham Young because of a snafu regarding a student loan last summer. And the business office of the UT Athletic Department has taken responsibility for the mix-up. Said it was their fault, but he was suspended, and then Texas lost that game big, 47-6. They've won, but not very convincingly, 3 since then. And if he wants any run at the Heisman, he's got to have a huge game today. Kelly, deep. Incomplete. He had Cash open in the end zone.
And he had Johnny Walker as well. 2 wide receivers line up to the left, and it's a formation they've used a lot today, and they'll put Metcalf over that side and end up with 3 wide receivers. And he had both Walker and Cash open, just overthrew him a little bit, but he has played well in this first half.
Interesting, talking with Kurt Casper, the Oklahoma linebacker who played against Kelly. He said Kelly owned him in high school. They won every game all 3 years, and he said he thought, Kurt Casper, the fellow you're looking at, said he thought Kelly was going to be a superstar in college, and it just hasn't worked out that way. 2nd and 10. Stunts by the Oklahoma front. Kelly intercepted. Picked off by Greg DeQuazy. That's his first of the year. Intended for Jorick Battle and DeQuazy, the nickel back. He's the 5th defensive back that OU is using. Makes the interception.
They call their nickel formation their Mustang formation, and DeQuazy did a real nice job of just staying back and being patient. He'll come up on the left side of the screen, reading the quarterback's eyes, reading the route, and steps right in front of Battle. And I don't think Kelly ever even saw him. This is what plagued Texas a year ago. 7 interceptions in the game against Oklahoma.
Matter of fact, Shannon Kelly threw 2 of them in that game after the issue had been decided. It's a 14-0 ball game. What a pop. Mike Gaddis is hit by Britt Hager, the middle linebacker, number 60. Hager, All-American candidate. He's another of those who's never defeated Oklahoma.
And he's the guy that has to take some responsibility right now and say, hey, I'm the middle linebacker. There's very few pure middle linebackers in college football, and the fullback is not going to gain any more yards.
And he wears that number 60. That's a hallowed number at Texas. First made famous by Tommy Nobis 25 years ago. They don't give that number out lightly. Here's Thompson. Oh, boy.
Like eating Jell-O with chopsticks, you know? He is so quick off the cut.
Wait a minute. Like doing what?
I thought I'd get that, but like eating Jell-O with chopsticks. The guy is so quick off the cut, he just explodes off the cut.
Did you learn how to do that at Oxford?
Of course, you've never done that here in Texas, Dallas, have you?
No.
Big in Oxford.
We eat barbecue with our hands down in Texas. Third down and 7. 7 minutes to go in the first half. 14-0. Thompson being chased. Hard to contain him, but they get him. Fumble! Hackamack, I think, got there. Oklahoma gets it back, but they will have to punt. Ken Hackamack, 6'9", 300-pounder, made the tackle.
You know, two big plays the defense has given up. Other than that, the Texas defense has played very well today. Again, good control on the outside by number 63, Brockman. Turns it inside, which he should. And he coughs it up and very, very upset as Thompson came off the field with him.
Todd Thompson will punt. Willie Mack Garza and Eric Metcalf are deep. This is Eric Metcalf, another fair catch. This one at the 34. Defense has given up big plays by Texas. They have moved the ball, but then turned it over. They've got it again after a 35-yard punt. Stop. Think they can hang on? 44 in a row. Our score is 14-0. 6:05 to go first half. Longhorns have a first down and 10. Trying to break a 3-game losing streak. This series has gone in cycles, and it's in an Oklahoma cycle right now. Quick flip, Metcalf. What a block he got. Oh, Kerry Cash had a terrific block downfield at the 40-yard line, and McMitchell has to make the stop.
You like to see unselfish players. Kerry Cash from the right side of the screen, number 19, sets up this screen beautifully and allows Metcalf. They want to dump it. Let him use his athletic ability. There is the block right there in the middle of the screen. But that's an unselfish play by Cash, clearing the way for Metcalf. You'll see him coming right from the left here, putting the block on the linebacker. A lot of receivers won't do that, don't want to block those linebackers, but Cash did a nice job.
Again, the Longhorns go with the 3-receiver set and Metcalf in motion on 2nd and 1. Kelly back. Kelly scrambling. He's got a man wide open. Battle was there, and Casper knocks it down. So there's a reunion of the high school battle from Houston. Right now, let's go down to John Dockery.
Thank you, Vern. Can you recognize this guy, Billy Sims, former Heisman Trophy winner?
Remember me?
We remember you. How could we forget a great career you had here and in Detroit? What about this game? We've been trying to find words to describe this kind of intensity. Can you describe it?
It's nothing like it. You know, I played in Ohio State back in '77. Went up there, and 100,000 people was big. But I know you in Texas meet up regardless of what the record is. We put it aside, and we come out, and it's just a hell of a game.
Billy, you've had so many memories. What's your best memory of this game?
My best memory was in '78, the year I won the Heisman. We came down here and beat these guys, and everybody shared in that. And it's just a tense rival. You know, I'm from Texas, but when I come here, I'm act like I'm from somewhere else.
Well, you've given us a lot of memories. Now back to you, Vern. Thanks, Billy.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right. Here are a number of the Heisman Trophy winners who played in this game. That last play was short, by the way. Billy Vessels, Steve Owens for Oklahoma, Earl Campbell, who's here today, and Billy Sims for Oklahoma.
You know, Texas had a 2nd and 1. They threw the ball once, then they ran a draw. 2 questionable calls when you're trying to pick up a first down and score before halftime.
Liljedahl's punt. Milburn mishandled the last one, and he's down at the 15. Good downfield coverage by the Texas Longhorns. 46-yard punt, 4 on the return. Now time to present this week's Toyota Leadership Award to team players who've been singled out by their school's coaching and faculty staff for outstanding performance in the areas of team contributions, academics, and citizenship. Today's team leadership winners: Lee Brockman from Texas, a marketing major from Hereford, Texas, and Anthony Phillips from Oklahoma. He's a business management major from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Toyota will donate a check in the amount of $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund.
One of the keys to this game, I think, is Texas had 3 3rd-and-1s in the first half and didn't convert any of them.
Good point. That's a surge over the right guard spot after the 20-yard line. Lee Brockman makes the tackle on Leon Perry. Well, Barry Switzer told us on Thursday that one of the big differences in this year's team from previous OU teams is the absence of big plays. They've not been getting them, and they've got 2 here.
That's exactly right. And again, when you can get Stafford on the corner of the defense like they did early here in the first half, that's when you're going to get the big plays. But they haven't done that much this year.
2nd down and 4. Fumble. Picked up on 1 bounce. Mike Gaddis gets it, but loses yardage back to the. They will put the thing on the ground.
Looked like Charles Thompson got the ball caught in the fullback's gut, and when he tried to take it out, the ball fell on the ground.
That'll be a loss back here. The big plays of 20 yards or more. Texas has had only 10 on offense. Coming into today, they had allowed 23. It's now for 25. Oklahoma now has 19, and they've only given up 11. 12, I guess, counting Metcalf's long run. But Barry Switzer designs his offense around a big play concept, and they just haven't had it this year. A lot of that due to the inexperience of the offensive line. Thompson going deep. Oh, boy. Willie Mack Garza, the young man from Refugio, Texas. He is an amazing youngster. Finished 2nd in a poetry reading contest his senior year in high school. He also was all-district in the band, and he scored 46 touchdowns as a senior rushing the ball a year ago.
You know, some guys just carry themselves in a very special way. He does that. He's only 18 years old. Great presence for Garza.
That saved a touchdown. Thompson on. Only guys you know who played in the Texas-Oklahoma game and finished 2nd in the poetry reading contest.
None.
Willie Mack Garza makes the tackle. I asked him where he was a year ago today. He said, oh, we had a big game. The Woodsboro Eagles against the Refugio Bobcats, and we won before a crowd of 5,000. Coming up tomorrow on the NFL Today, Washington will be at Dallas. That's at 12:30 Eastern Time with the NFL Today. Others of you will see Chicago at Detroit, and still others will watch the Rams at Atlanta. Tampa Bay visits Minnesota tomorrow. And some of you will see New Orleans and San Diego. That gets a 4 o'clock Eastern start. And it all starts with the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern Daylight Time. 3:13 to go before halftime. Kelly, man open. Tony Jones, who's got scat back speed. He is the leading receiver, and a flag is down.
Shannon Kelly is saying that it's roughing the passer. Texas has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. No, they call it holding. He was looking for the roughing call. Texas has all 3 of its timeouts remaining, but that penalty is really going to put them in a hole. It would have been a 21-yard gain. Now they're going to end up with 1st and 25.
Well, you're so right about those 3rd and short plays, and then to have something like this happen. They've moved the ball in between the 30s.
We have holding on the offense. Still 1st down.
And that's what happens. You talk about moving the ball in the 30s. It happens when you have a passing team. When you get down, you need the 3rd and 1, or you need to pump it in to the end zone. You can't do it. The left guard here is the one who was caught holding 53, Dwayne Miller. And Kelly did get hit very hard after the game, and he really thought it was roughing the passer. And I think he has legitimate claim. The ball was away.
1st down and 20 instead. Texas trailing by 14. Kelly gets a good block. Jorick battle incomplete at the 42-yard line. Ken McMitchell was defending for OU. Indiana leading Ohio State early in the 1st quarter.
Still plenty of time with 2:47 and with 3 timeouts remaining. It's the distance that hurts Texas right now, 2nd and 20. But I think it's very important for them to get something on the board before halftime, even if it's just the 3. Feel they've done something in the 1st half and then come out with a new attitude in the 2nd.
Coming up at halftime, we'll have Miami coach Jimmy Johnson in the studio. He can explain how to beat Oklahoma.
Boy, he has done it 3 times.
We'll join Jim Nance at halftime. 2nd and 20. 4-man rush. Kelly in trouble. Now, let's see what he decides to do. He lets it go, and it is caught Kerry Cash again. Kerry's brother Keith, twin brother Keith, and a flag is down. As he crossed the line of scrimmage.
I think that's what the official is saying now. That's a very difficult throw for a quarterback to make, but he was across the line of scrimmage. He rolled out to his left and then threw the ball over the middle. That's tough. The line of scrimmage is right about here, and you're going to see Kelly, after he scrambles, he's going to throw the ball right past the line of scrimmage, and the side judge is right there to make the call. Again, this is a difficult throw as he gets himself out of trouble and then drills the ball, gets enough steam on the ball inside. That's a tough throw.
That is also loss of down for Texas. So holding call wipes out a 21-yard gain, and now the loss of down. See the list of plays on Kelly's left wrist. So holding call wipes out a 21-yard gain, and now the loss of down. See the list of plays on Kelly's left wrist.
They send in the formation. He goes to the wrist and then calls the play.
3rd and 25. With time, goes deep for Cash. Fumble. It can't hang on. That's an incomplete pass, and it would have been enough for the first down. Had him open.
That ball was as well thrown as you can throw it, and Cash really should have caught it. Although he got hit, I don't think he really got hit that hard. It looked like he should have caught the ball, and he knows it. One last look, and this is a tough catch for a receiver because he knows he's going to get hit, but he had plenty of time to secure it before he was actually hit by the defensive back.
Jerry Parks made the defensive play. Here's Milburn with the punt return. And he shakes loose of a potential tackle, another one, and is knocked out of bounds. That's a lot of effort for a 5-yard loss. 44-yard punt. Mark Semmelman made the tackle ultimately. Full house on what is becoming a sunny day in October here in Dallas. Well, Barry Switzer likes to recruit south of the Red River. That's why this is such a big game. Television exposure and played in Dallas. Oklahoma has 38 players from Oklahoma, 37 from Texas, and 20 from other states. And you can see that UT has only one player from Oklahoma. He's on the field right now. They're almost totally homegrown. Paul Bierman, the safety, number 22 for Texas, is from Norman, ironically enough. 100 pounds coming at you.
All 6'9" of them. He is a very strong run support guy. This really should be his kind of game, one-on-one physical game. And really what success Oklahoma has had is when they've gone away from Hackamack and worked at Rocky Allen.
Hackamack, Rocky Allen, and at times Steve Llewellyn, who has been in and out of the lineup. That's Oscar Giles, number 95. Hackamack just towers over his teammates, though. Llewellyn and Allen is in there right now. So 2nd down, 11. 1:17 to go first half. Quarterback draw, and Hackamack read it. Ken Hackamack wasn't fooled.
Hackamack just stayed right at home. His responsibility is, he's right here, is to play through the guard and take any inside plays, any fullback plays, any quarterback plays. He runs right over the guard, reads the play, and he and Hager put the stop on Charles Thompson.
David McWilliams was matched up against a former Oklahoma All-American and Cowboy star, Ralph Neely. He was laughing about it yesterday with us when David played in this game. He checked in at a solid 187 pounds. Said Neely didn't own him at all. 3rd and 12. Roll out. Thompson. Short of the first down. Baseball. Final. The Mets beat the Dodgers 8-4 in Game 3.
Well, that hurts. I'm a Dodger fan.
Coming from Los Angeles, I would expect no less.
That was a terrific tackle there by Lee Brockman.
You think you got it tough?
Field.
I'm a Ranger fan. Time has been called. We'll be back in a moment. 14-0 with 19 seconds to go in the half. Big Bertha and the Texas band standing on the sidelines. They'll appear for sure here today. They're first.
If I were Texas here, I would be thinking about a blocked punt.
Here they come. And the punt is away by Thompson. Fair catch called by Metcalf at the 27-yard line. Let's go down to John Dockery.
You know, Vern, the bands are getting ready for the half. Both the Texas and Oklahoma bands reminds me of a story in 1965 when the Oklahoma band took the field and refused to give it up to the Texas band because of the national exposure. Well, they were furious even though Texas won the game, and the headline the next day was Oklahoma won the bands, Texas won the game. I wonder what will happen at halftime. Now back to you.
John, I was here when that happened, and they celebrate a little bit. I bet Columbia's celebrating too. 44 wins in a row gone. Losses in a row, and it's all over now. They defeat Princeton 16-13. First down and 10, 14 seconds to go. Metcalf in motion. Kelly back. Goes left side for Metcalf. He gets out of bounds, and that stops the clock at the 39.
You're looking at that Columbia score. They were leading the nation in homecoming games coming into today, because you figure it's an automatic win, so you're happy to see them beat Princeton.
Leading the nation in
Everybody wants Columbia. It's their homecoming game.
First down and 10. Shannon Kelly is now 11 of 18, but only for a modest 88 yards. And again, he checks that wristband. That was like Tom Maddie with the wristband, all the plays on it.
And all they do is they waggle in the formations, and then he calls the play.
Dixon hits him. It's up for grabs and intercepted. Picked off by Kevin Thompson, who's then knocked down at the 39-yard line. Wayne Dixon is the man who got in Shannon Kelly's face. That is the second interception of the first half. The big play of the first half, and it was huge. 86 yards. Thompson to Anthony Stafford.
And on the outside of the defense, on the edge of the defense, all 4-3 speed, Anthony Stafford did a nice job of catching a perfect pitch, and no one's going to catch him.
That was the second Oklahoma touchdown. They went for two and got it. That's the end of the first half with our score 14-0. Jim Nance is back for the College Football Report after this message and a word from your local station. In the middle of the State Fairgrounds, the Cotton Bowl. In the middle of the State Fairgrounds, the Cotton Bowl. Sky's clearing now, and we've got 75,000 on hand for this 83rd meeting between Texas and Oklahoma. Well, good news for John Dockery and all of you who are concerned. The Oklahoma band did get on the field, and so did the Texas band. Oklahoma leads at 14-0. I was here in '65 when the Texas band never did appear, and they haven't forgotten it. And they haven't forgotten, I'm sure, the first half, Pat. It's been a big play offense for Oklahoma, and a lack of all of you who are concerned. The Oklahoma band did get on the field, and so did the Texas band. Oklahoma leads at 14-0. I was here in '65 when the Texas band never did appear, and they haven't forgotten it. And they haven't forgotten, I'm sure, the first half, Pat. It's been a big play offense for Oklahoma, and a lack of able to convert on third downs for Texas.
You know, Texas has had 3 situations where they have been in 3rd and 1. They've tried 2 passes and a draw play. We're going to take a look here at Shannon Kelly as he rolls out and tries to get this ball downfield. I don't mind so much the calls, but you think at least once you try to run behind your offensive line and get yourself a tough first down. This time they ran a draw play. It wasn't really a power play. Again, kind of a surprising call on 3rd and 1. And I think that's really been the difference. They've played pretty well, except they haven't converted on 3rd and short.
They will get the ball to open the 3rd quarter of play. And we'll be back to the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas, after this message and a word from your local station.
It's here. It's new, and it may change your view of the automotive world. It's GMAC's new way to help you into a lot of car or truck without tying up a lot of your money, and to help you break free with low monthly payments. Introducing Smart Lease by GMAC. Look into it today at your GM dealers. Smart Lease by GMAC. Automotive leasing will never look the same.
A6, hurry and you'll make it.
Delta Airlines ticket agent Sam Singletary knows how to get people moving.
Mr. Franklin, your bag.
But sometimes he has to show off a few moves of his own. The kind of moves that made him a first-string halfback. Sam Singletary shares a feeling with everyone at Delta. He loves what he's doing, and it shows.
We love to fly.
He's the kid.
And it shows. This is Howard Johnson today. This is Howard Johnson today. Changing in so many colorful, comfortable, welcoming ways. This is Howard Johnson today.
This is CBS.
How's married life? Great.
Chicken nachos, buffalo wings.
Thank you.
So, Jill let you out tonight? Hey, I can go out anytime she lets me.
Chicken Frisco salad.
Right here.
Maybe back ribs.
Thank you.
So, how's Jill's cooking? Oh.
And beef fajitas for two.
For me, right there.
So, how was your first meal?
First meal, guys, this is my first meal.
No place else is Chili's. No place else.
This is a machine designed to keep you on time. And this is what makes it tick. People. Working together with clock-like precision, each dedicated to keeping you on schedule. Time after time after time. American Airlines, the on-time machine.
I eat the right stuff, and sometimes I even eat the wrong stuff, okay? I don't believe that you can completely deny yourself. But the one thing that I do know is, if I eat a little of the wrong stuff, I go and I walk a couple of extra miles on the treadmill, the wrong stuff is going to disappear. I mean, you have to balance your life, you know. I'm not a nun, we all know that, you know. So you have to live a reasonable life. You have to eat right and you have to exercise.
Barbara White, working for you tonight on Channel 4 News.
CBS Sports presents college football. Today's CFA game is sponsored by the heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet. BASF Corporation, we're creating new worlds by seeing in new ways. BASF Corporation, the spirit of innovation. And by Michelob, one taste will tell you why the night belongs to Michelob.
Third quarter forthcoming. Let's go down to John Dockery, who's standing by with Texas coach David McWilliams.
Coach, you had a third and short a number of times in the first half. Weren't able to convert. Why?
Well, of course, we went for it twice throwing the football. You know, we decided to try to just get them in a short yardage defense and just go big and try to make something big happen.
Changes in the second half. Get the ball to Metcalf more.
No question. We got to get the ball to Metcalf. You know, we played fairly good defense other than for 2 snaps, but we got to get that ball to Eric and eliminate the penalties. You know, we just had several penalties that hurt us when we made big plays.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half.
That was moments ago. Now Texas will receive to open the third quarter of play, trailing 14-0. Thompson will kick off for Oklahoma. And the deep men are Tony Jones and Eric Metcalf. It's short. Taken by Chris Samuels, and he's up to the 33-yard line before he is down. Well, there are tons of stories out here in the Cotton Bowl today, but an interesting one belongs to John Fuquay, number 42. He's a walk-on senior. A year ago, John was the starting quarterback at Texas Lutheran College, a Division II NAIA school in Seguin, which just so happens to be my alma mater. The school gave up football. John called David McWilliams, said, could I walk on for my senior season? He walked on, and 3 weeks ago, he was named the Special Teams Player of the Week for Texas. He said yesterday he's never even been in the Cotton Bowl, much less seen a Texas-Oklahoma game. Play fake, Kelly back. Goes left. Norris at the 35. Let's check what happened at halftime. Statistically, the big plays by the Oklahoma offense, one run of 86 yards, a pass of 43. Rushing yardage 175 to 54, and the turnovers.
And you heard David McWilliams, I think, say it pretty well. The defense really played very well, other than those very 2 big plays in the first half.
That turnover stat is a surprise. Second down and 4. Texas had gone 2 full games without a turnover. First time in 40 years they'd accomplished that. Metcalf on the pitch. Gets a good block in the perimeter and is up near the 40. That should be close for the first down as Ken McMitchell makes the tackle.
A lot of highly recruited athletes at a high school like Metcalf was, they're so much better than their teammates. But when they get to college, they find that everybody's pretty good and they don't really stand apart. But Metcalf, I think, a characteristic of him, he is the best player on the field even in college, just as he was in high school.
Eric has been battling the flu for a couple of weeks, and he had a reaction to some medication a week ago, so was not at full strength against Rice. Didn't practice much 2 weeks ago and just practiced a little bit this week. That's enough for the first down.
We talked about him and his father, how the running styles are the same. He says he still watches tapes of his father running. He's done that since he's been in grammar school, still pulls out those tapes and tries to emulate and imitate even the very steps of his father.
Isn't it interesting how generation to generation things stay the same? I can remember when Terry was playing for the Cardinals, Tom Landry, every time they played them, the Cowboys, he'd say, well, it's simple. All we got to do is stop Metcalf. Now teams play the Longhorns. They say it's simple. All we got to do is stop this man, Metcalf. They don't. First down at the 45. How about Eric versus Terry? Or not versus, how about compared to? This is Eric on the left, Terry on the right. And notice the hip movement and the shifty feet. There is a remarkable similarity in the style of running displayed by father and son. And a great pride from father to son. 15 yards for Eric Metcalf on the last play.
And his father's very insistent upon Eric graduating from Texas, which he will.
First and 10, Texas at the 45. Norris gets the give up the middle. They test the center and they find it leaking. That's to the 37-yard line before Frank Blevins makes the tackle.
Sequencing of plays is the key on offense. In the second half, Texas has come out in this first drive. On the first play, they dumped a little flat pass out to Norris. Then they gave the ball to Metcalf as he picked up a few yards. And then they pounded one time there with Darren Norris up the middle. And a good block by the right guard, Saleh, number 65, as he really gets a hold of Curtis Williams, number 93, and clears the way for Norris. But that's the most physical play of the day.
Second down and 2. Norris, that's a first down for Texas to the 34-yard line.
And that's what they didn't do on those third and shorts in the first half. Give it to Norris.
Now a flag is down on the left side of the field. Chad McMillan, number 77, might have been involved in the altercation.
He and a couple of us Sooners were going after one another.
McMillan playing for Charles Cephas against Oklahoma. I said something at the open of the show that we might go back to. I mean, the emotions in this game are very real. There's a feeling on the part of the Texas players who stay in Texas of real animosity against their fellow state members who go north and play for Oklahoma. There's a feeling from the Oklahoma side of the football that the Texas people exude arrogance. And those are real, honest feelings. And they sometimes erupt in a game like this. At the 20, deepest penetration by the Horns so far. No tight end again. 3 wide receivers. Kelly, draw play. Metcalf with a little hurdle move, and he's down at the 16. Tackle is made by Greg DeQuazy as Oklahoma continues in that nickel defense. Let's check in with John Docker.
You know, Vern, you and Pat were talking about Eric Metcalf. I talked to his father, Terry, last night, who's in Arlington, Virginia, watching the game on TV at a friend's house, and he compared it to he and his son. He said, Eric's quicker. He was 4'4", I was 4'6". Eric's a better punt returner. I was a better kickoff returner. I was better out of the backfield, but Eric will be equally as good. To his son, he said, go with the flow, let it happen, and you'll be a great one. Now back to you.
Thank you, Johnny. Second down, 7. 14-0 ball game. Kelly, Tony Jones at the 11-yard line, short of the first down, and another of those third and shorts coming up for Texas now. Jerry Parks makes the tackle, number 8.
This is the real test as we watch Jerry Parks make the hit and really squared up on Tony Jones. Was not going to let him escape from the tackle. But this is the real test for a throwing team. Can you get the 1 yard when you really need it? Can you punch it in when you get inside the 15-yard line?
David McWilliams, I beg your pardon, might want to get Campbell out of the stands. Earl is here. 3rd and 1, Texas. At the 11, they trail by 14. Opening drive, third quarter. Norris gets the handoff. And I don't think he got it. It'll be fourth down. Curtis Williams again, the nose tackle, number 93.
The nose tackle, Curtis Williams, on the 4th, 3rd and 1, fights right through Champagne. He believes they're going to try to go to Norris this time, fights off Champagne's block, and is there, puts the stop on him, gets some help from Evans. And on 4th down, I think Texas has to go for it. No sense in kicking a field goal when you're down by 14.
They will. Jorick Battle brings the play in for David McWilliams. The 25-second clock is down to 5. Quarterback sneak, got it, first and goal. Shannon Kelly.
Because this Texas team doesn't have a dominant offensive line, this is the most difficult place for them to score. I think it's actually easier for them to score outside the 20-yard line with a big pass.
Johnny Walker goes way wide to the left. Jones is lined up wide right. Metcalf in a slot to the right side, and Kelly goes back. He's being chased, lobs it out. Look at the move by Metcalf, and then he takes a pounding and is down at the 3.5-yard line.
Some guys run through tacklers. Eric Metcalf makes a lot of tacklers miss. It looked like he did juggle the ball there a little bit as he was getting hit, but did come up with the recovery. You try tackling Metcalf.
Oh.
That'll get you a neck brace, won't it?
And there's the ball clearly coming free, and it took a fortuitous bounce for Texas. Second down and goal, officially from the 4. 14-0. Oklahoma leads. Blitz. Kelly. Metcalf. Touchdown, Texas. Clements will try and tack on the extra point to cut the lead in half. (14-7). Watch Terry Metcalf as he gets the touchdown, the first of the game for the Longhorns.
And he went in motion, and the right call for the right defense against the blitz. You get the speed out in the flat, and that means 7 points for the Longhorns.
Chevrolet has been a part of more families than anyone. That's because Chevrolet offers more ways to move your family than anyone.
A videotape that guarantees original brilliance and sharpness even after 500 plays? This is the tape that does it, BASF. Because every time you play it, or play it again, or record over it, play after play after play, the original brilliance and sharpness always comes through. So if you're looking for the videotape that just keeps coming back for more, ask for BASF. Because even after 500 plays, the original brilliance always comes through.
I'm Gene Rohrvig, State Farm agent. It's no secret why more drivers come to State Farm and stay with State Farm. They like the personal agent service and the way we handle claims. Just like my policyholders, the BIMAs. And now, because Ralph and Nyla are over 50, they're saving important money with a State Farm discount. If you are 50 or over and you want great service and savings too, talk to a State Farm agent now.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is
Some confusion in the secondary by the Sooners. This are the two safeties, Thompson and McMitchell. They go in man formation. He tries to release Metcalf to McMitchell at the top of the screen, and McMitchell doesn't get there in time. It's man-for-man defense. He was released to him, but didn't get out in the flat in time.
Eric Metcalf gets the touchdown to open the second half. An impressive way to open the third quarter for the Longhorns. And now Wayne Clements will kick off once again. (14-7). As we said, this series goes in cycles, and Oklahoma has dominated through much of the 80s. It's been amazing how cyclical the game is, and Oklahoma has won the last 3, the last 2 by convincing margins. Two teams tied at 84. That's a short kickoff. Fair catch called by Cooper, the tight end. Adrian Cooper, the tight end, takes it at the 21-yard line, or the 30-yard line.
And this is a game I am really looking forward to seeing next week, Vern. Miami and Notre Dame. At the first game of the year, the Notre Dame students were already talking about this Miami contest. Miami comes in unbelievably efficient on offense. Steve Walsh is off to a terrific start, and Notre Dame undefeated at the moment. It's going to be a great game.
Well, you know Miami is off this week. Jimmy Johnson back in our studio watching the game, and of course Notre Dame plays against Pittsburgh a little later this afternoon. Here's Thompson to Leon Perry, and he is stuffed. Perry gets the give over right guard. Again, if you joined us late, Jamel Holloway, the starting cornerback, was injured in the first half. An ankle injury. We were told he could come back in, but Barry Switzer does rotate his quarterbacks, and Thompson is a dandy, a sophomore. Second down and 9. 8:47 to go, third quarter. They come this side. There's the toss. Michael Gaddis is knocked out of bounds at the 23 by Stanley Richard. The free safety's having a big day, as he must, right?
Absolutely. And in wishbone defense, the free safety can't get blocked, and he's got to fill the alley just as he did here. Watch how he plays it inside out the whole way, runs behind the quarterback a little bit. He's got the quarterback, and then he goes to the pitch. As soon as the pitch, again, he has a good relationship between the pitch man and Stanley Richard. Again, makes a very fine tackle.
Unofficially, we've got Stanley Richard with 9 tackles already in the game. 3rd and 7. 2 wide receivers set for Oklahoma. Thompson goes deep, man coverage. Eric Gross, Berry, flag down. And they're going to get Mark Berry for pass interference.
A little surprised. I think the ball has to be catchable to be pass interference. I'm not sure that ball was. I thought it was overthrown. But nonetheless, the official saw Berry as he went through the receiver. Oh, yeah, that ball could have been called. That's a good call by the official. Yeah. Berry did interfere, went right through Bross. The ball clearly was catchable.
Mark Berry's a freshman redshirt out of Dallas. Here's the call.
We have pass interference on the defense. 15 yards. First down.
Now, Berry's a good story. The very first play of the year against BYU, he slipped and gave up an 80-yard touchdown pass, but came back and competed hard the rest of the game. Never hung his head, and has great confidence in his ability.
This is a young secondary for Texas. 2 redshirt freshmen, or 2 rather, a redshirt freshman and a real freshman, and 2 sophomores back there. First down. Perry gets the handoff, and it goes to the 41. Ken Hackamack. That's a great name for a defensive lineman. Hackamack.
Yeah, you're 6'9", 288. You should be named Hackamack.
Well, his dad had an even better name than he did. His Ken Hackamack. His father's name is Harley Hackamack.
He fights right through it. Harley and Ken. That's what Hackamack made a nice play there, along with Steve Llewellyn. But he has played very well. Very physical player.
Second down. 8. 14-7, Oklahoma leads. There's the fullback again, and Perry almost broke it for a big one. He's out to the 47-yard line. Leon missed last year as a redshirt with an injury. Got pretty good speed, and he's a good pass receiver a few times they throw to him.
You know, it's amazing. A fullback from Oklahoma had not caught a pass for 3 years until this year when Perry and he's caught 4 this season.
That brings to mind, Pat, another streak. An Oklahoma tight end has not caught a pass this season. And they've had enormous problems with tight end. Here's 3rd and 2. There he is stuffed. Steve Llewellyn, the all-conference and all-American candidate, knocked him backwards. He's been a guy plagued with shoulder problems.
Top left. Llewellyn wasn't even supposed to play today, but when you play Oklahoma in your last game and you haven't beaten them, sometimes you play even when you're injured.
Well, we have talked about the exploits of Anthony Phillips all afternoon and how he's dominated his position. That time, he got whipped. Here's Thompson back to punt. Metcalf lets it go over his head. It'll be a touchback and come out to the 20. 53-yard punt, 6:40 remaining 3rd quarter. It's a good one, 14-7 OU.
It's just like checkers. It's triple jump. It's 3 jumps. Boom, boom, boom. Every card has a prize.
If you make the right choices, you get to the prize.
Yours.
One of those prizes is Pontiac Grand Prix.
This is a car that climbs volcanoes.
There are 150 Carnival Cruise prizes. We can have a date and get married.
Let's talk about big money. If you get the million, you can buy the Kirby's.
I got a winner here. I don't believe it. Yeah.
Regardless of what some people think, all spark plugs aren't alike. These AC copper core plugs match my car's specs for up to 30,000 miles of high revving firepower.
AC Delco parts. They don't just fit, they match.
Buy 15 rolls of any Owens Corning pink insulation now and get your favorite NFL team jacket free.
We save $200 at Radio Shack on a great family computer, the Tandy 1000HX, on sale for $499.
And with this color monitor, the system was still less than $799.
It's IBM PC compatible and comes with easy-to-use DeskMate software.
So the kids can do homework, and I can compose letters or music.
And the $200 savings helps me balance our budget.
The sale price Tandy 1000HX with software only $499. Complete system with color monitor less than $799. Only at Radio Shack.
Many of the world's best milers take to the world's most famous street. It's the Mercedes Mile on 5th Avenue. Next Saturday on CBS Sports.
We're at the State Fair of Texas. What's the fair all about? Athletic contests, of course. I bet on number 3. That took place about 200 yards from the Cotton Bowl. It's all part of the State Fair of Texas. There are 75,000 inside the Cotton Bowl, another 150, 200,000 taking part of the exhibits in the Midway here at the State Fairgrounds. Shannon Kelly, Texas trails 14-7. Kelly, the senior out of Houston. Yes, he does, Jake, Mary Lou Retton. 1st and 10. And she's here today, by the way. Kelly. Oh, boy, that was... Oh, it is intercepted. Kurt Casper gets the rejection, and Oklahoma has its 4th turnover, and this is a touchdown. Against Kelly in high school, and all comes to grief for Kelly this afternoon.
And this really wasn't Kelly's fault. He threw this ball pretty well. It got tipped and then goes off the hands of Walker. You can't blame Walker either, and Casper's right there to make the play. The question is, did he step on the boundary before he got into the end zone? Looked like his foot may have stepped on the boundary, but nonetheless, they give him the touch.
A couple of missed tackles after the interception had been made, and Lasher's extra point is up and good. 26-yard interception return for a touchdown. And the fourth Texas turnover of the afternoon. It's 21-7. 21-7, 6:24 to go after Kurt Casper's 26-yard touchdown return with the intercepted pass. Was he in or out of bounds, Pat?
Well, look at his left foot. We wondered about this just a moment ago, and right there, the left foot is on the line. Anytime you're on the line, you're out of bounds, but the official didn't call it.
In 1973, in the Cotton Bowl game, Texas won the ball game over Alabama 17-13. Alan Lowry on a touchdown run in just about the same spot, same foot. Was he in or was he out? They still debated. And that is the fourth Texas turnover, and Oklahoma has not turned it over yet. Remember what Barry Switzer told us? They have not turned it. They turned it over against Texas only once in the last 2 years in this game. Short kick. Chris Samuels. And he is down at the 34-yard line. Big Sunday of NFL action coming up tomorrow. The key game, Washington at Dallas. Most of you will see that at 12:30 Eastern Time. Chicago will be at Detroit. Los Angeles Rams at Atlanta. Tampa Bay will be at Minnesota. And some of you watch New Orleans against San Diego. That gets a special 4 o'clock start. It begins with the NFL Today live at 12:30 Eastern Time tomorrow. 40 years ago in this game, Tom Landry played for the University of Texas, scored a touchdown.
Is that right?
Right. And Darrell Royal played for Oklahoma in the same game. OU won it 20-14. Pitch out, right side. At the 38, Metcalf. Notre Dame has started. Let's go back to Jim Nance to see what's going on.
Well, Vern Pitt scored first to lead 7-0. Back came the Irish to tie it at 7. And here on 4th and goal, Anthony Johnson bowls his way across. Notre Dame leads just starting the second quarter. Back to the Cotton Bowl.
Well, Vern Anthony Johnson is one of the great short yardage runners in college football. Scored a lot for the Irish over the years.
Second down and 7, 5:43 to go. Kelly fakes the draw play. He'll run. And Casper chases him out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Sellout crowd for the 43rd straight year, the 83rd meeting in Dallas. Cotton Bowl between Texas and Oklahoma. It was 14-0 at the half. 2 big plays by OU. Texas came back and got its first touchdown to open the third quarter. But then Kurt Casper returned an interception 26 yards just moments ago to give OU a 21-7 lead. Vern Lundquist and Pat Hayden. 3rd and 6. Good block. Kelly needs a couple more. Throws it away. There's the flag. Intentional grounding. Wayne Dixon, who had a big game against Iowa State in his first start last week.
Wayne Dixon is going to make a lot of big plays in his career at Oklahoma. He's only a junior. There's a nice job of running by Stan Thomas, the tackle. But Thomas really did his job, and when Kelly came out too far, there was Dixon to make the play.
On the offense, loss of down, 4th down.
That will send Glenn Milburn back to return the anticipated punt of Bob Liljedahl. As you look at other games from the West Coast just getting underway. How about Indiana? Look at this.
It's a great start this year.
John Cooper's got to be perplexed with that Ohio State team. Milburn. Oh, dear. And there's another flag down on the far side of the field. Bobby Rhodes made the tackle. 2 flags down.
The issue is you have to give him 2 yards to make the catch. Oh, I didn't see him put his hand up.
We got non-contact interference on the kickers. 5 yards. 1st down.
Here is the play here. Got to give him 2 yards, and I think he put his hand up a little earlier than that, and to call for the fair catch, and you have to give him 2 yards to make the catch, give him the opportunity to catch the ball.
Charles Thompson, the sophomore, came on in relief of Jamel Holloway in the first half of play. And Holloway, out with an injury, has not reappeared. 21-7 with 5:16 to go in the ball game. Thompson cuts back into the arms of Britt Hager, the senior out of Odessa, who makes the tackle. Check in with John Dockery. John?
Thank you, Vern. You know, we have an anniversary of sorts today, 20th anniversary of the Wishbone. Most people think Oklahoma started, but it was actually Texas. You see, Darrell Royal had 3 great backs. Steve Worcester, Chris Gilbert, and Ted Coy wanted to get them all in the game, so he created the Wishbone. But I'll tell you what, he may have started it, but Oklahoma has made it the art form. Now back to you.
Oklahoma has in the last 25 years. Look at their rushing game average, 318. Texas at 246. Here's the pitch to the left on 2nd and 9, a fumble, and a recovery by Oklahoma. Just to amplify on that point, he not only had Coy, Gilbert, and Rooster, he had a young quarterback named James Street, and the Wishbone really came to life here. Bill Bradley, who was a great athlete, was benched as quarterback and moved to wide receiver. And Darrell Royal put James Street in to operate the Wishbone. They unveiled it in '68 here, and they beat Texas with a great last drive of 85 yards, 26-20.
It's not as hard to recruit Wishbone athletes as it is other offense, for example, the I formation, and that's another reason Switzer likes it.
3rd and 14. Thompson gets a little assist from the official, or the official hindered him, and Oklahoma will have to punt. See what Oklahoma has done on the ground today, Pat.
Well, right up the middle, that's the fullback, Perry, following Phillips. Again, on the right side, it's been Phillips and the center, Wise, have done a terrific job. And the right tackle, Van Kersville, has done, really opened some nice holes for the quarterback and the fullback.
86 of those 109 yards to the right came on one run. Thompson's punt. Willie Mack Garza. Well, we talked about 20 years. There have been some memorable games in other years as well. And one of the most memorable came in 1958. That was a turnaround game when Texas won 15-14. Interesting how the series has been dominated by one team or another, and also by coaches. Bud Wilkinson for so many years, then Darrell Royal, then Barry Switzer.
Game of streaks, hasn't it?
Yeah. 1st and 10, Texas. Kerry Cash in motion. Quick screen left side. Good block from Kerry Cash. Here's the speedster, Tony Jones. Well, he's been quiet today. He gets a first down after the 38-yard line.
It's amazing how one play oftentimes in a player's career can change people's perception of him. He was viewed as a track man a year ago until he caught the winning touchdown pass against Arkansas. And now they feel that he is a complete receiver, can get deep, he's got great speed, and he's not afraid to go over the middle.
Quiet guy, 5'7", 140 pounds, but terrific speed. 1st and 10, Texas, 3:08 to go, 3rd quarter. Again. 43-yard line. Wayne Dixon again with a tackle. Well, let's go back to our New York studios and check in once again with Jim Nance.
Well, Vern, 2 unbeatens in the Pac-10, Oregon and USC. First quarter, 3 turnovers for the Ducks already. Stephen Webster scoring out of the eye, and it's 14-0 Trojans. I guess Pat Hayden's happy about that one, Vern.
You bet, Jim. Thank you very much. I am. Glad to see the Trojans having a good year. And Darren Norris picks up the first down right over the middle. Picked up a nice block by Alan Champagne. We haven't seen much of Darren Norris running power plays inside, but that's what happened there. Watch the center and left guard double team, and that's why Norris just kind of hugs that block. That's Champagne and Miller, and good vision by Norris. He is really a natural tailback playing fullback.
1st and 10, Texas at the 50-yard line. 2:15 to go, 3rd quarter. This is Metcalf in motion. Shannon Kelly back to throw again. Jorick Battle, that's good for a gain of 5 to the 45-yard line. Battle is sophomore from Houston, tackled by Kurt Casper, the man who has one of the key plays in this game, Casper, for that 26-yard interception return.
You know, Vern, we were just talking about Darren Norris, and I think consistency is one of the most difficult achievements in sports, because it's so hard to be consistently good every week. But Norris has started 40 straight games at fullback and has been consistently good.
Metcalf out of the backfield. Quick screen, Metcalf drops the ball. That it is a forward pass. I thought that was a lateral for a moment.
For just a moment, I thought it was a backwards pass. Taking another look at it here, trying to get Eric Metcalf out one-on-one, getting the ball any way you can, but the ball is thrown in front. Metcalf is in front of the quarterback, so it was not a lateral. But again, trying to get Metcalf the ball any way they possibly can. Let the guy who can win the ball game for you get the ball in his hands.
3rd and 5. 1:30 to go, third quarter. Texas down by 14. Darren Norris knocked backwards. It'll be a punting circumstance for Texas. Flag is down.
Kurt Casper has played very well. Of course, he made the interception for the touchdown, but he's done a great job of really filling holes, finding the little crease and looking for Metcalf. The face mask, well, there should be an automatic first down, I believe, for Texas. But Casper's done a real nice job of hiding behind people and finding Metcalf. Right part of the screen, you're going to see the face mask on Norris.
15-yarder. That is the whopper. All the way to the 30.
And two different ones. One is a flagrant penalty, which that was on Casper. And a very opportune time for Texas, otherwise they would have had to punt the ball. And very important with 1:23 left in the third for Texas to get into the end zone.
And they've got new life now with a first down at the 30-yard line. 3 wide receiver set. They've gone almost exclusively with this formation. We've not seen Stephen Clark, the tight end, at all today. Toss right. Metcalf out of a tackle and down at the 27-yard line. Jerry Parks makes the stop. Final minute, third quarter, 55 seconds to go.
Metcalf is very, very patient on that sweep play and is just looking for a little alley, and that's what the line tries to do. They're not dominating offensive line, but you don't have to be with Metcalf. Just stay in your block just momentarily. He'll find the soft spot.
Second down and 7, Texas. Again, the 3 wide receivers set with split backs behind Shannon Kelly. Draw play, Metcalf. Oh, dear. Scott Evans, what a play. The sophomore from Edmond, who was the Big 8 Defensive Player of the Week last week.
You know, Oklahoma, as you watch on the second from the left, here is Scott Evans. They've the last 3 or 4 years, they've had dominating players on defense. Nobody really there this year yet, but in years to come, Scott Evans is going to be the guy.
Gary Gibbs, the defensive coordinator, said he's the best since Rick Bryan in the defensive line. That's the end of the third quarter with our score. Oklahoma 21, Texas 7. College football on CBS Sports. We'll return after this message and a word from your local station.
The CFA game is sponsored by Michelob. One taste will tell you why the night belongs to Michelob. UPS for overnight delivery from coast to coast. UPS runs the tightest ship in the shipping business. And by Allstate for home, auto, and life insurance. You're in good hands with Allstate.
You're getting just a hint of the malevolent stare of Bevo 13, the Texas mascot. I've only seen that animal wince once, and that happened when Earl Campbell, the Heisman Trophy winner, came running through the end zone and knocked into Bevo 8 or 9 or 10 and knocked Bevo over. Actually happened.
Yeah, I heard that story. It's hard to believe. I heard the story.
Even if it didn't happen, it should have.
It's a good story.
3rd and 10, Kelly back. And in some difficulty. He's in a lot of difficulty. It'll be 4th down. Bring you up to date if you just tuned in. Casper's 26-yard return with a pass interception, the key play in this half. That was the 4th Texas turnover. Total offense fairly even, but 2 huge plays by the Oklahoma offense. A 43-yard pass in the midst of a 93-yard touchdown drive in the first quarter, and an 86-yard second quarter touchdown run by Anthony Stafford. Now Wayne Clements, who has a season high and a career high of 55 yards against BYU, is on to try the field goal. Clements began his collegiate career at Tulane and transferred after a 110 season there, sat out, and kicked for Texas a year ago. That's got plenty of distance. He got it. 48 yards away. Out of Mark Murdoch's hold, and it's 21-10.
And he gets hit after he makes the kick. Wasn't really a roughing the kicker. He did slip. But he sees enough to see it go through. And for the seniors of Texas, Vern, and we talked to how important it is for them to beat Oklahoma, be a class that has at least 1 win over Oklahoma. They have 14 minutes and 47 seconds left to do it.
This is a Texas team that had not turned the ball over in the previous 2 games. 4 turnovers this afternoon. Shannon Kelly has been intercepted 3 times, the most costly that of Kurt Casper. But Oklahoma has not turned it over yet, and that has not been their style.
And really, that was really the key to their loss against Southern Cal, was the turnovers. And Barry Switzer said, if we don't turn the ball over at Oklahoma, we are tough to beat because our defense is very tough to drive the ball against.
Matter of fact, Barry was even more specific when talking about Texas. He told us if we don't turn it over against Texas, they can't beat us. And they lead at 21-10. Clemens kick short. At the 15. Mike Gaddis down at the 28-yard line. How's it gone in the last 5 years? In '84, Texas turned it over twice. Oklahoma once, a tie. In '85, Oklahoma won with 3 Texas turnovers. In '86, 1. Oklahoma won it. Last year, of course, the 7 pass interceptions. And Oklahoma's 1 turnover, and today, none. So look at that. They've only turned it over 4 times in 5 years against them. Eric Metcalf looks on. Oklahoma has the ball with 14:42 remaining in the ball game. Flags are down. Boy, those are late flags.
Looked like early movement, but it was flags. And as Britt Hager made the tackle, and it's up to that guy right there, the senior. If they're going to win, he has to lead the defense in this 4th quarter. Britt Hager, who told us yesterday he does not want to leave Texas without having defeated Oklahoma.
Hager at 6'1", 219, 187 tackles from that middle linebacker spot a year ago. Married, his wife's name is Bridget. She's a French language major.
Kind of a frustrating year for Hager because they've played so many passing teams up until today, so he hasn't been heard much of. But today is his kind of game.
10 tackles today, 1st and 15, Oklahoma. The power eye set. They test the middle. Mike Gaddis, no, it's Anthony Stafford, and he's out across the 25 to the 28 into the arms of Oscar Giles. At the conclusion of today's CBS Sports College Football broadcast, we'll select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game from each team. Chevy donates a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund of each school.
And this is the down for the Texas defense. Stuff them here, put Oklahoma in 3rd and long, which is not their kind of down.
2nd and 10. Ankle tackle on Thompson. Stanley Richard again. That's 10 tackles for the free safety.
Anytime you're playing the wishbone, he has got to make a lot of long runs and fill the alley. He's got quarterback responsibility first and then to the pitch. But the free safety stays behind the quarterback in case he cuts up, he can make the play. And Stanley Richard has done it well all afternoon.
Stanley Richard from Hawkins, Texas, 3rd down, 8 Oklahoma. They are 2 of 10 on 3rd down conversions, and they will go from the wishbone. 1 wide receiver, wide left. Timeout, OU. .13-10 to go in the ball game. 3rd and 10 when we return.
Done a nice job with a Miami team. This was supposed to be a down year for the Hurricanes, but he's done a marvelous job.
3rd down and 8, 3 wide receivers in now. Thompson is 0 of 2 passing. Blitz is on, they got it. No, they don't. Now they do. 4th down.
.9 Charles Thompson. This is what he sees as he's back there. He doesn't see a whole lot. That is 6'9 Ken Hackamack coming in his lane, in his view, and then 2 or 3 other Longhorns. It's a good pass rush.
4th down. Thompson will punt. Line drives this one. And it takes an Oklahoma roll right by Eric Metcalf. While we have a moment after that 56-yard punt, let's take a look at OU.
We know we belong to the land of home.
The greatness of a university lies not in its bricks and mortar, but in the intellectual curiosity of its students and the commitment of a faculty dedicated to excellence. A great university is a community of caring people learning and growing together.
12:22 remaining in the ball game. Shannon Kelly takes the quick screen, pumps it in the right side. Caught. Kerry Cash. No flags down, and the chase is on. Out of bounds inside the 10.
That is a great call by John Mize, the offensive coordinator for Texas. This was set up earlier in the game when they ran a couple of quick screen passes out there to Tony Jones. This time it's the fake, and Tony Jones jumps up like it's thrown over his head. And then the defense reacts up, and that gave Kerry Cash, the other receiver on that side, the chance to catch it and go. Critical thing, though, he did not get in the end zone. And again, Texas has trouble scoring touchdowns this area of the field.
That's an 80-yard gain. Kevin Thompson had the angle and knocked the 6'4" sophomore out of bounds. First and goal from the 7, a 21-10 game. 80 yards on the pass. Double wing set. Kelly, nobody open. He's in serious trouble. Metcalf, he's in serious trouble. That's a loss of 13 yards.
And I can't tell you how big a stop it was by Kevin Thompson, the defensive back from Oklahoma, running down Kerry Cash on the play before this. Again, a quarterback, although Shannon Kelly has played very well today, has got to dump the ball off. He should have just thrown this one away or just down at the feet of Eric Metcalf. But when you have so much confidence in a guy like they do with Metcalf, you just expect something good to happen when you get him the ball, but not there.
Officially a loss of 12, ball at the 19, second down and goal. And the biggest play of this game might have been made by Kevin Thompson, getting the angle on Kerry Cash. Draw play. Metcalf to the 12-yard line, where it'll be third and goal. Let's go back to the pass play, Pat.
The man in motion here is the receiver. Watch this guy jump and fake, and meanwhile, the man in motion goes downfield for the big play. That's Tony Jones at the top of the screen. Watch him jump like it's a bad pass. The defensive back reacts, and Cash gets behind him. But 22 right there, Kevin Thompson, the play of the game, prevents the touchdown. And now the Longhorns find themselves in a very difficult position.
3rd and goal from the 12 with 10:35 to go. They fake the draw play. Kelly to Norris, but he's going to get hammered for a loss to the 17. Greg DeQuazy. So file the play by Kevin Thompson away.
And give some credit to Gary Gibbs, the defensive coordinator for Oklahoma, who, although this is not a terribly talented guys with dominant players, they play very well together. Number 48, Greg DeQuazy, stays right at home, isn't fooled by the double screen, fights through the block of battle to make the stop.
Longhorns had a 1st and goal at the 7. They'll have to settle for the field goal from 34 yards away. Wayne Clements, who just hit a 48-yarder on the last possession. Here's Steve Mathis, the referee. Nope.
And Vern, interesting, if they do make it, it makes it an 8-point ball game, and if Texas were to score, they'd have to make the 2 to tie.
Ten minutes exactly to go in the ball game. And the kick from the far hash mark, 34 yards out. Yes, it's good. The big play, however, was made by Kevin Thompson. He stopped Kerry Cash after an 80-yard gain. Horns settled for 3.
Listen to the heartbeat of America. Listen to the heartbeat of America. Oh, yeah.
The legendary Chevy Camaro. Remember all the times you told yourself that someday you'd have one? Welcome to someday.
The heartbeat of America.
In every town in America, there's always one place that does a little bit better job of fixing your car. And it seems the things they all have in common are great mechanics, great service, and Napa parts.
Now, you may be ready for the cooler weather ahead, but is your car ready? To make sure, stop by your Napa Auto Care Center now for our fall specials. Look for the sign of quality car care. Napa.
Leave it to the good hands, people.
Compassion. You can't teach it or place too great a value on it. But you could measure it down this very road on the morning of June 23rd. In the actions of Allstate Claims Adjuster Don Mulder, who at 5 a.m. drove 60 miles to a fire site, all just to shorten the distance between a man's loss and a man's recovery. People like Don Mulder, another reason.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
9:52 remaining in this ball game from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Vern Lundquist along with Pat Hayden. Oklahoma jumped out to a 14-0 lead in the first half. Perhaps the most significant part of that 14-0 lead is that they had to get a 2-point conversion to get to 14. They had the first extra point blocked after a 2-yard touchdown clutch. Then an 86-yard run by Anthony Stafford gave them the second touchdown in the 14-zip lead. Texas cut it to 14-7 to open the third quarter. Kurt Kaspers intercepted a Shannon Kelly pass, returned to 26 yards to make it 21-7. And Texas has put back-to-back field goals on the board. We stand at 21-13 right now. Here's Clements with a kickoff. And it's short again, taken at the 10 by Anthony Stafford. And he's down at the 24-yard line. Right now, let's go back to our New York studios. Here, once again, is Jim Nance.
Vern, here's an interesting play. 4th down for the Pitt Panthers, down 7. Darnell Dickerson scrambling, throwing on the 4th down play, and there's Henry Tootin with the tying touchdown. But just a moment ago, booting a field goal for Notre Dame was Reggie Ho to put the Irish in front 17-14 just before the half. Back to Vern.
Back to the ball game. 9:48 here. Motion in the offensive line. That'll cost Oklahoma 5. Right guard Anthony Phillips appeared to be the one who jumped, number 68.
Hit ball. Illegal procedure on the offense. Still first down.
This is a situation where Barry Switzer needs to get his big play guys on the edge of the defense. That pitch, which we saw Stafford in the first half go 86 yards with, he needs to get one of his speed guys on the corner of the defense to come up with a big play.
Eric Ross, the receiver, comes out. Carl Cavanis takes his place. He's wide left. Here's Thompson. They do a great job of stringing the play out, and then look at Thompson dart forward for 5. Boy, you think you got him, and then whoosh.
And he is amazingly tough. He breaks tackles. Even though he is only 175 pounds and has great speed, he's a physical player, even at that size.
Barry Switzer was telling us the other day he's the only quarterback in his 15 years who's ever rushed for 100 yards against the Longhorns. And Thompson did that in 1 quarter last year with 114 yards in the 4th quarter. Second down and 9. 21-13 game, 9:05 to go. Fullback, Perry. Richard with his 11th tackle, and he had to have it to save a huge game. Jamel Holloway went out with an injured right ankle in the first quarter of play, and we were told he could have returned, but he's not. He's not particularly happy with this rotation of quarterbacks anyway.
Well, I think any quarterback would like to play more regularly, but he did have that big knee surgery, and when you have a guy as talented as Charles Thompson, you have to play him, son. But Jamel Holloway has had a remarkable career at Oklahoma.
1st and 10, OU. Perry, the fullback again. Now they're riding Anthony Phillips, that right guard, once more.
Exactly. Anthony Phillips has done a really nice job all afternoon of opening the hole for the fullback, and that's the first option. Watch again, right on the tackle. It's man against man, drive blocking, a lost art in college football. You can see the little crease he gets right there on Rocky Allen, and that's a very, very nice block.
Anthony Phillips, who was the player of the game in this game 2 years ago. Mike Gaddis. That's for a couple. Let's go down to John Dockery.
Vern, we've been talking about the tradition and the desire of these players. Let me tell you about a couple. If you look over here, you'll see Joe Morty and Chris Cavanis. Those guys are not part of the 60 traveling roster of Oklahoma, only 60 allowed. But what they did is they came down on their own. They paid their own way. They found their own lodging just because they wanted to be in uniform for this Texas-Oklahoma game. And that's what I call desire. Now back to you, Vern.
John, let me just amplify on that. I remember a guy named Lance Rensel who did that once when he was a sophomore. He actually suited up and got in the game and caught a pass. Here's Perry. Out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
A good offensive football team can drive it when they have to, and that's just what Oklahoma has done here. When Texas scored the field goal, they were able to drive the ball, and it's been led by Anthony Phillips, the right guard. One more time, watch him as he is on Steve Llewellyn, knocks his man inside, and that gives Perry plenty of room to get into secondary. It's amazing to me that Phillips, an offensive guard, has really been the dominant force in this drive.
And Leon Perry now with 115 yards, most of them over the back of Anthony Phillips. Perry tests the middle, inside the 10 to about the 8. The clock shows 7:35 to go.
The Texas defense needs to keep this an 8-point game. They have to create a turnover, force a field goal attempt, and then maybe block it, but they can't afford any kind of score by the Sooner offense.
Texas came in as the #1 rushing defensive team in the country. It was, as we said, a deceiving yardage mark. It was only 37 yards because people had been passing them busy. But they've been averaging only 1.3 per rush, and today they've been dominating. Second down and 7:05 to go. 21-13 to score. Thompson. Touchdown.
physical is a relative term. And although Charles Thompson is only 175 pounds, he is a physical football player.
That is a 76-yard drive by the Sooners when they most needed one. And it was Perry over Phillips for much of the way. The extra point by Lasher is good. And take a look at the touchdown run again from Charles Thompson.
By the time you see Charles Thompson, he's just too late. He's just going to break through some arm tackles, and he's had a remarkable afternoon.
At BASF, we believe to see in new ways, you need to see with more than one pair of eyes. Synchronize your energies with the people down the hall and around the world. Because the more ideas you can build on, the higher we can all reach. From agribusiness to healthcare, we're creating new worlds by seeing in new ways. BASF, the spirit of innovation.
Some people take chances on car maintenance, but I don't. Give me AC filters every time. AC filters match the original specs on my cars like a nut on a bolt.
AC Delco parts. They don't just fit, they match.
This is Howard Johnson today. This is Howard Johnson today. Changing in so many colorful, comfortable, welcoming ways. This is Howard Johnson today.
My dandruff shampoo is good.
Maybe you should try something else. My dandruff shampoo really works.
Maybe you should try something else, like Selsun Blue. Doctors and pharmacists recommend Selsun Blue more than all other leading brands combined. What that means to you is no leading brand gets rid of dandruff better than Selsun Blue. It's #1.
And all Selsun Blue formulas, including extra conditioning and extra medicated, have the ingredient recommended most by doctors.
Anthony Phillips, a preseason All-American. You've seen an example of why this afternoon as he's led the way at right guard. And he told us this is his kind of football game.
Yeah, definitely my kind of game. I think my biggest asset is one-on-one, just straight ahead blocking. And the way Texas plays, that's what you're going to do every play. And it's a really challenging game for me because you don't get to do that too much in a season.
Some guys are real Saturday players, and he is one of those. Watch as he just seals off Steve Llewellyn, and that makes a big hole there for Leon Perry. But again, one of those guys who loves to play and plays hard every down.
Anthony Phillips, now a senior, the only senior in the offensive line. It's a rebuilt offensive line. They lost Bob Latham, their starting center. And, of course, they had Mark Hudson and John Phillips last year as starters. A total of 16 players from Oklahoma's team a year ago into the National Football League. Here's the short kick, returned by Chris Samuels again. 28-13 here. Tomorrow, most of you will watch Washington and Dallas, about 15 miles away from us at Texas Stadium. Others will see Chicago at Detroit. Still others of you will see the Rams as they go into Atlanta. And Tampa Bay makes its annual visit to Minnesota. And then at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, some of you will see New Orleans against San Diego. It all starts with the NFL Today. Tomorrow live at 12:30 Eastern Time with Will, Dick, Irv, and Brent. Texas gets it back with 6:50 to go, but that last 76-yard drive might have been the cruncher. That's a blown play, and Metcalf makes something out of it as he gets out across the 35-yard line. Right now, let's go back to Jim Nantz.
Laverne, here's a painful play for Pitt fans. Just 20 seconds before the intermission, quarterback Darnell Dickerson going in untouched, but fumbles at the 1, tries to recover, fumbles again. Notre Dame recovers and leads by 3 at the intermission.
Here's the pass over the middle to Tony Jones, and he loses yardage after the first contact, but that is enough for the first down at the 45.
The Longhorns are not out of this game, even though it is 28-13, but I think they have a better chance of scoring from about the 30 to 35-yard line rather than getting inside the 20. That sounds strange, but they're not a powerful team. They need to come up with a big play to get into the end zone.
28-13 right now, 6.5 remaining. Texas shaved it to 14-7 and got to within 21-13, but each time Oklahoma has responded. Metcalf, Casper, no, it's Scott Garl Number 49, the senior from Hominy, Oklahoma.
Barry Switzer and his staff, particularly his defensive coordinator, Gary Gibbs, have done a terrific job. This is the team, a young team, bottom of the screen. Watch Garl as he fights through the block and puts the stop on Metcalf. Great tacklers in the secondary.
Norris behind the line. They lost some more on that play. They're completing an unusual number of passes for losses today. And going the wrong direction.
You know, it's kind of Texas philosophy is to dink the ball here and there and give guys an opportunity to run with it after they catch it. That's why that's happening.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 12. 5.5 to go in this ball game. Kansas State up next for Oklahoma. 3rd and 16. Kelly close to a 200-yard day passing. Fires it for Battle, who drops it. It'll be 4th down. And Shannon Kelly was injured. Loses his helmet back at the 20. Scott Evans got to him, and Kelly is hurt.
Well, he has played hard all day long, and I think he's played very, very well. Here's the rush. It's Scott Evans, number 78, who fights through a double team. Tremendous determination by Evans. But not a late hit. He was already on his way to Kelly, but he got hit right in the chest. Well, I've had those sternum bruises. Boy, that hurts.
Time has been called while they tend to Shannon Kelly. Time called with 5:18 to go in the game.
You've seen Ford do this for years, but now there's a big new Chevy with enough power to not only haul tons of trucks up this mountain, but also tow away the entire mountain. The advanced full-size Chevy. No wonder when it comes to pickups, America's having a change of heart.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevy truck.
This is a brand new shop vac that comes with a surprise.
So where's the surprise?
In a minute. First, this baby picks up stuff like nails and glass like a regular shop vac.
So where's the surprise?
And like a regular shop vac wet dry, it also picks up water.
So where's the surprise?
Just watch. You twist the top, lift it off, and you've got a portable blower. A surprisingly powerful blower.
Shop vac. If it doesn't say shop vac, keep shopping.
Redskins, Cowboys, and a force named Herschel. An NFC East collision tomorrow on CBS Sports.
5:18 to go, and excuse me, Shannon Kelly might have seen his last hopes of beating Oklahoma go by the wayside. Valiant effort today, 198 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, 1 at the end of the half, and the other a bounce that went the wrong way.
Hey, all you can do is give it your best and play as hard as you can. He honestly did that.
Liljedahl is on to punt. Bobby Liljedahl, the junior from Abilene. Jerry Parks is the return man for Oklahoma now. Nice punt by Liljedahl. Parks calls for the fair catch. It goes into the end zone. It comes out to the 20-yard line. Once again, let's go down to John Docker.
Thank you, Vern. Gil Brandt, Dallas Cowboys. You've seen a lot of football games. What about today's game? Any surprises to you?
Well, it's a great rivalry, the Texas OU game, and 2 big plays are really the difference in the game. A run by Stafford and a kind of an unusual interception. That's really the difference in the game.
How do you like Phillips and Metcalf?
Oh, I think those are both very good football players. They're possibly both first-round picks.
We have to talk about the game tomorrow. Washington comes into Dallas after 2 tough losses to Phoenix and the Giants. You had a tough one against the Saints last week. What about the game?
I think it's going to be a great football game. Our team is an ascending football team, and I think we played very well, and the Redskins will always play well, so it'll be interesting. A great game to watch.
And the division is still up for grabs. No one's exactly run away with it.
That's right. There's only 1 game difference between first and last place.
Pelluer is playing well. Herschel is ready.
Our team offensively is a pretty good football team, and really our defense has played a lot better than we thought they could.
Should be a great battle tomorrow. Okay, thank you, Gil.
That'll take place about 15 miles from where we are. We're at the Cotton Bowl. That game at Texas Stadium. Pat Summerall, John Madden will broadcast that for you. And Thompson hands it off. No, he faked it. And he faked everybody out. Here's Charles Thompson. Out of bounds at the 50. Lightning quick and mystical as well.
Some guys just have big plays in their blood, and that's what Charles Thompson has. The guy, every time I have seen him play, he's come up with at least one big play. When you've run the option and the power play all day long, you fake it here to Gaddis, and you get a guy like this with this kind of speed on a corner, you got a chance. Bobby Duncombe's making the chase, and then he gets up a nice block by his receiver before getting pushed out of bounds by Jakes.
That's a gain of 30 and a first down for Oklahoma at the 50-yard line with 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Dive play right side. This is Rodney Anderson in at fullback, number 28.
Well, we've talked about the 3 ways the wishbone is run. Most carries going to the fullback, and unless you stop, they're going to keep running it right at you. But the big play was to Stafford, the 76-yarder on the halfback pitch. And, of course, we saw Thompson on the corner there for a big run just a moment ago.
Thompson now has 77 yards after that last 30-yard run. It's second down and 5. Oklahoma. Texas has a big game at home against Arkansas next week. Second down, 5. Here's Mike Gaddis, who is lined up as a deep back in the power I, and he's to the 42-yard line. Gaddis has played most of this game. It was the intention of the Oklahoma coaching staff coming in to play Gaddis a little more than Damon Stell and to play Thompson a little more than Holloway. Now, the Gaddis portion of that has worked out as they planned. The Thompson portion was necessitated in part by injury.
And Gaddis plays right halfback. Ordinarily, the right halfback at Oklahoma doesn't get as many big plays because, you know, with a right-handed team, when you run to the right and pitch it, he is usually the lead blocker.
3rd and 3. 3:40 to go in the ball game. Adrian Cooper tight to the left side. And Rodney Anderson down to the 40-yard line.
Well, thinking about that Dallas-Washington game tomorrow and watching Anthony Phillips, I think Phillips has the chance of making that all-Madden team in a couple years. You know, he's Madden kind of guy. He's got the shirt up. Look, he's got the gut hanging out there, the belly button.
I tell you, if John, boy, that is awesome.
Is that Madden's kind of guy or what?
That's not pretty. That is not. That's not a symphony.
He doesn't listen to classical music.
No, Mozart did not compose that body. If John is through with his preparation for the Redskin Cowboy game, he may make him a member of the All-Madden team tomorrow. Thompson ready to punt on 4th down. Fair catch called. It goes into the end zone, comes back to the 20. Well, we got a moment. Now, let's go down to Austin and take a look at the University of Texas.
The University of Texas at Austin.
Back to play. The pass from Mark Murdoch, the freshman who has replaced Shannon Kelly, is incomplete for Kerry Cash.
And the coaching staff, John Mize, the offensive coordinator, thinks very highly of Mark Murdoch, only a freshman, promising drop-back thrower, unusually relaxed. And I think that's a terrific trait for a quarterback to have. You know, you play in a lot of big games. You don't want a guy who's too tense and too uptight before games, but Murdoch is far from that.
Interesting senior year 2 years ago in high school at Round Rock, Texas. Injured after 5 games, but he still threw for 1,700 yards in only 5 games. Here's Murdoch. Flag is down. Murdoch's pass caught by Tony Jones. This one, oh, what a block. What a block by Johnny Walker on Mike Gaddis. Oh, dear. On McMitchell, rather. It may all come back, but McMitchell was waylaid by the tiny guy, Johnny Walker.
Right of the screen, Johnny Walker, and Jones sees this. Everybody sees it except McMitchell. Jones is trying to pick up the block, and it's right there. Ouch. And he is still down. And good eyes by Jones trying to pick up the block, which he did. And a good play by Johnny Walker, the other wide receiver, picking up the block for Tony Jones.
An absolutely clean block by the wide receiver, but McMitchell just had no chance. He didn't see it coming at all.
You know, you think defensive back is one of those positions where you don't have to be terribly physical and those kinds of things, but boy, you do. And you get hits and shots like that.
McMitchell still down. There was a penalty that wiped out the 28-yard gain. And while they check on McMitchell, we'll check in with Jim Nantz.
All right, thank you, Vern. Let's check some of the other scores from today. Columbia again snapped that 44-game losing streak with a victory over Princeton. The Tigers tried to tie it on a 48-yard field goal in the game's final play. It came up short, and the Lions win for the first time since October 15, 1983. On the coast, number 3, USC is hosting Oregon. Oregon 4-0 on the season going into this game, as is USC, and it's all Trojans at the half. Rodney Peete has thrown 1 touchdown of 59 yards to John Jackson. Pitt and Notre Dame. We showed you the Panthers going in for the go-ahead touchdown before the half. It ends up in a touchback for Notre Dame, and the Irish lead it on a Reggie Ho field goal at the half. Georgia Southern led Florida State 10-7 in the fourth quarter before the Seminoles recovered and won it 28-10. Florida State now 5 straight wins after being shut out in the opener against Miami. West Virginia, this game was close for a while, 17-10. Mountaineers led in the second half, then 13 points by the Mountaineers, improving the record now to 6-0 on the season. Let's go back to Dallas.
All right, Jimmy, we've got a 2nd down and 20 now after the holding call. Murdoch back to pass, maybe. Fires it short. Another flag is down way upfield. And Kerry Cash might have been held. They may have defensive holding. Here's McMitchell, who walked off by himself after that clean but hard block from Johnny Walker. This might be defensive holding.
We got holding on the defense before the pass. Automatic first down.
That was about 40 yards away from the line of scrimmage.
Well, I think Texas did a nice job of accounting for itself today. I think the defense played real well, other than a couple of big plays they gave up, and I think Shannon Kelly played well. It doesn't get any easier for him next week against Arkansas, though.
No, Arkansas undefeated and goes down to Texas. Last year, of course, Texas won that game 16-14 between the two up in the hills. Here's Murdoch. That might be ruled a fumble, or is it an incomplete pass? Incomplete pass. Hit by Tom Backus. And while we got a second, let's go back to Jim Nantz in New York.
All right, Vern, running down some more scores. South Carolina now 6-0, playing its first road game of the season. Colin Mackey hit 4 field goals for the Gamecocks, who trailed at one point, 21-10. The winning field goal came with 6:43 left. Nebraska over Kansas, as everyone expected. Nebraska 665 yards total offense today in that victory. Clemson won it on a touchdown in the final 2 minutes to beat Virginia, now 28-0 in the all-time history against the Cavaliers. Back to Vern.
2nd down and 10 here. And Murdoch with a draw play to Eric Metcalf. Shakes one tackle right into the arms of another. And it'll be 3rd and 9. Kurt Casper again, number 46, who had one of the big plays in this half. And now the celebrating starts for the Oklahoma Sooners, the defensive unit. There's Casper, the senior.
And he really has played well. And what he's done such a nice job of, he's not gotten caught up in any of the traffic. He stayed away from all the traffic, so he's had a free run at the ball carrier.
David McWilliams' team about to go 0-2 under his leadership in this series. Murdoch back on 3rd and 9. Murdoch down and make 4th and about 12. This is James Good from Houston, another of the Texans on the Oklahoma roster.
He's got a cast on the left hand. He's got a brace on the right knee, but he's got very good speed, and he will put pressure on the quarterback.
4th and 12, 65 seconds to go. Bobby Liljedahl is on to punt. Sooners will go to 4 and 1, and the Longhorns drop to 3 and 2. Jerry Parks Takes it for Oklahoma at the 50-yard line. And let's go back and get another update on scores. Jim Nantz in New York.
Well, one of the other upsets today was Mississippi over Alabama. Ole Miss had never won in 23 previous trips to the state of Alabama against the Crimson Tide, but a 10-point victory today for the Rebels as Alabama had 0 yards passing and had 5 turnovers. Oklahoma State a winner, Barry Sanders, the nation's leading scorer, rusher, and kick returner. 41-21 was the final. Sanders 174 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. Let's go back to Vern Lundquist.
48 seconds to go in this ball game.
A new quarterback.
Chris Nelson is in. He's a freshman from Ada, Oklahoma. And down at the 49-yard line. Coming up tonight on CBS, Dick Clark presents A New Night, Simon & Simon, the season premiere. And West 57th, an in-depth interview tonight with Clint Eastwood. That's all tonight on CBS.
Entirely new backfield in for Oklahoma. Eric Mitchell, I see, is in number 1.
Glenn Bell at fullback, and it's Bell with the handoff now, number 20, as we've got 10 seconds remaining in the ball game. And the Oklahoma Sooners win this one by 15, 28-13, and keep their mastery of the 80s alive over the Texas Longhorns. It was a big play offense and a big play defense that led the Sooners to the victory. Let's go down quickly to John Dockery.
Thank you, Vern. Barry, you didn't miss a beat when Thompson replaced Holloway. No problem?
Well, fortunately, we've got 2 quarterbacks. He's got a sprained ankle, as you probably all know, and we just felt like we had to hold him out because he wasn't full speed, and Thompson's a good player.
You seem to play it close to the vest, knowing that you'd get the big plays.
Well, no, we didn't. Their defense, you got to give Texas credit. Texas played good second half on defense, and we answered, though. When they made that last score, we took a great drive and won the ball game right there. But Texas played hard, and David's team should be proud of how they played.
So just a step along the way to this team being more dominant right now.
Well, we've improved. We're getting better football team. We're a young team, but you know, our defense will be back all next year, and I think that they're a pretty good group right now. I wish the offense could help them more the second half.
Congratulations, Coach. Now back to you, Vern. Thank you.
All right, and down in the middle of the field, the emotions have subsided as the players from both squads shake hands and head back up the tunnel, as this one goes in the books as a 28-13 victory for the Sooners of Oklahoma. Came down this tunnel in anger. Now they head back toward their respective locker rooms with the issue settled for 1 more year. And it goes in Oklahoma's favor. Our Chevrolet most valuable players of the game are Anthony Phillips, the offensive guard for the Oklahoma Sooners, and safety Stanley Richard for the University of Texas. Phillips, of course, with that great blocking on the key touchdown drive. Stanley Richard with a total of 10 tackles today from his safety spot. A check in the amount of $1,000 will be donated by Chevrolet to each school's General Scholarship Fund to further assist qualified students in all chosen academic fields. Final score 28-13. The Sooner Band celebrates on the field, and we'll be back at the Cotton Bowl in just a moment.